let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer League podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM nasty big hello. It's that static AM radio. It's the cool bed red hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log in with some sirloin bites.
And a great Tuesday morning to you. Welcome back to the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps. And for your visual pleasure, as always, on YouTube. If you are watching this morning, hit the like, hit the sub. We are already at a strenuous pace of 31 thumbs up, 31 likes, so keep that going. Love to see it. The prog rock version of the Nielson Show continues. And so, first time again on the desk with you, Matty.
You and I have never done this together.
This is great. I don't know how I feel. This is weird.
I start with an apology that I am not Dustin Nielsen. I know there was a lot of excitement that Dusty's returning today.
We promised.
And of all the people to see right now, probably don't want to see me.
For the past couple of Fridays, we've been saying that, hey, he'll be back. Everything will be back fine, either Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is, and he's still not back. We do have a welcome back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph Twitter DM from Tube Socks.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
He wants it read today, regardless.
Does he?
He does.
Did you
I
ask
said,
him?
"Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah, do it."
Because he texted me on, I think, Friday or something. He says, or is it Thursday? He says, when's Dusty back? And I said, well, yeah, Tuesday.
He says it might be funnier with him missing. So
I feel like it's still got to be special when Dusty returns.
Well, maybe he'll have to do another.
Come on, Steven.
Maybe he'll have to. Steven,
are you sure?
With Dustin Nielsen still, we welcome YouTube Trev back to the program as well. He had a week off, week and change. What was it?
Crunch for that.
There you go.
Thank you. Very good.
Can we get an update? Do you have the new house, the new digs?
Oh, yeah, baby. I am living life. I am back. I am so back. I am just recharged, and I had the best 4 days of my life this last 4 days. I'm not gonna lie. I was telling Maddie I was a little scared because I did nothing. But it was just so peaceful, so quiet. I was able to go to the kitchen whenever I felt like it, and I was able to go back to the living room, and I was able to go to the bedroom. I was doing all this in my underoos. It was the best thing ever. I loved it, and I'm so happy right now. It was great. That was great. But it's great to be back. You guys absolutely crushed it, but oh man, I tell you what, I could get used to this living on my own thing. It's so fun.
You are on your own, right?
Yes,
the girlfriend doesn't, just to clarify so nobody's...
Yep. No, I'm by myself. The lady, she comes over every now and then. But pretty well all by myself. And guess what? I did not I did not eat out once last week. That is a first. The first time of
Did
me
you
being.
cook?
He's
I
cooking
cooked
every day?
single day. Every single day. And I made leftovers for the next day. I'd have that for lunch, and I cooked a lot of breakfast as well. So, it was so nice. But I did not eat out. I just want to say, I know that's it's not really a flex, but
No more donairs for you. People are going to be very disappointed at that.
No, I'm changing. I'm a changing man.
He's a healthy boy. He's cooking at home, and he's got the suite all set up. It's nice. And we're going to have to now. When is the party?
Yes, the party will be, I guess, whenever I can make it happen. Whenever you guys would like.
Maybe that's the home of the EST Christmas party.
Ooh, I like that. My door is always open. Okay,
The mixer.
Have that be
you
clear.
will. The Nielsen Show is presented as always by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Of course, go see Daniel and the team out there. Tell them EST sent you. You'll get an additional $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. If you have any questions for Trev and his new digs, send them in. 780-218-9999. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. It's also the place where you send in the texts to perhaps win text of the day to A&W. You can shop in store or online at Paris Jewelers, www.parisjewelers.com. For A&W, a little something new. They're now serving their Pret 100% organic coffee. To celebrate, you can get a $1 small coffee or $2 small latte until November 24th. With Pret sustainably farmed beans, A&W is raising the coffee bar across Canada and lowering the price. Get a $1 small coffee or $2 small latte from your nearest A&W today. Offer available in restaurants and on the mobile app. Latte only available at the A&W Brew Bar locations. Not a bad deal, hey?
I love a good. I'm in a latte kick right now.
For a buck.
I'm in a latte kick though. So
You're on the
perfect.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
I've come in the last 2 Saturdays to get some work done, and I always stopping to get a latte.
It's a nice treat.
I don't know. It's just I'm usually just a black coffee guy.
Dusty loved the lattes.
And that's a great deal. Lattes are running like $6-7 in some places these days.
Well, that's just it.
Get it for a buck. Might as well have
$2.
3 of them.
If you get that A&W text of the day today, $20 to A&W, you could be getting the whole, you could be hero of the office. Lots to get to. Of course, long weekend. Remembrance Day yesterday, short week. But again, the sports landscape does not stop. NHL action for you. Oilers and Islanders, obviously, tonight. Tom Gazzola will be by with the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows later on this evening on EST. We got a Grey Cup to talk about. We got an NFL week to wrap. And we got an in-season NBA Cup tournament to discuss.
Emirati's NBA Cup, baby.
Thank you very much.
Lakers title defense begins tonight, I think.
Can they go back to back? Get those banners. Another banner for the Lakers, hey? In the NBA Cup / now it's in-season tournament year 1. It'll be NBA Cup. So you're in pursuit of a new banner. You could be the inaugural NBA Cup.
Lakers do not play tonight, so their title defense must wait. They sit and watch how the rest of they're in the group of death. They've got to pay attention to. They're in this group of death. They've got who did I say? They had the Thunder, they had the Suns, they had the Jazz, and they had the Spurs with Wemby. That's the group of death. I don't know how else you describe that one.
I like if he mixed the East and the West, though.
See, I said. Should I save that for?
Well, we can get to it.
You want to? I'll save that
Give
for.
a bit of a tease.
Well, I've got one thing for Fired Up.
I'm fired up for the tournament.
Well, no,
just in general. I mean,
the NBA has got this all wrong. And I'm just trying to see when I could get into that.
More
later.
On that coming up later in the hour.
The NBA Cup's done all wrong. It's done very poorly.
Shall we say you're fired up?
I'm disappointed in the.
Does that hurt?
Maybe it does. That hurts.
Yeah. I mean, you could take.
Maybe I got something else for that hurts. But I'll find a way to mix this in of my disappointment in Adam Silver in the NBA for the NBA Cup.
Adam Silver rarely sets a foot wrong. I mean, this
one they did wrong.
Wow.
Noticed it from last year, and it's continuing this year.
We are coming to you live as well from Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen Studio. They're bringing back the big box, 2-piece signature chicken, 2 regular sides, and a biscuit with an option for a drink as well. Check out Popeye's today. Set up the show for you today. It is Tuesday, not a Monday, so that always kind of gets you after a long weekend. That Hurts will be coming up in a matter of minutes here for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. Fired up. What are you fired up from? Either the weekend or leading into the week. You can get your texts in for that at 6:40. We'll discuss as well. Craig Button, our TSN hockey insider this morning and analyst. He'll be by recapping the Oilers' 7-3 win out in Vancouver. How about that, eh? You said it'd be a landslide either way, Matty. Mr. Lean coming through again.
Big one.
Huge one. Craig Button will be by to discuss that, set up Oilers and Islanders, and go for a little hot lap around the NHL as well. A Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day. We'll take a look at maybe some Grey Cup futures or something like that. Or I don't know.
Yeah, we can look at Grey Cup futures, but we also have to build the EST game day parlay for the Oilers Islanders tonight. So I'll be looking for some help on that one. The Oilers on the money line, not a lot of value on that, so we'll see where we can go with it for tonight.
Yeah, somebody's saying in the nasty chat already, tonight has a 2-0 snooze fest win written all over it, Penner's Pancakes. If that's what it takes, right? This isn't going to be your Saturday night blowout either way, as you mentioned, but maybe this is just a quiet Tuesday night business for the Oilers. Your EST Flyway to LA keyword, that's coming up at around 7:25. Your next chance to qualify, we're sending you and somebody you know to Los Angeles. Rental car accommodations, the whole bit. You get the hockey, you get the football, you get the basketball, all of that good stuff going down during the Christmas season. So your next chance to qualify, 7:25. Confessions at 7:30. We'll be doing that. Maybe some confessions I mentioned to you. Maybe some news from the Spite League since Dustin Nielsen. Maybe an update. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
I got an update.
The Fan Zone for 7:40 for fans first. So if you want to get in there as well, make sure to hashtag your texts or nasty chat comments, hashtag Fan Zone. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. Top of the third hour. Maddie's already got the questions cobbled together. So that'll be an interesting twist to the show today. There they are. They're very, not too wordy at all. Wills are usually like a long scree, like 2 pages, and takes a lot of reading. Usually the ticker runs out of time before we finish the 5, but you kept those to like a good kind of 5-word count for each.
You shouldn't stumble out of the block, but if you do, you should be able to rattle. Like, I think 4 to 5 minimum.
Is it more like historic questions of the weekend, or what's going to come up today?
I'm not giving those hints.
Okay.
This is
I love it.
For the kind.
I tried.
This is easy enough. Again, I think 4 to 5.
Orange and Blue Breakfast at around 8:20 will get you set for Oilers and Islanders. Go around the horn and let us know. We'll let you know our thoughts on tonight's game. That's ahead of Joaquin Gage at around 8:30 in the wrap to wrap things up for William Huff. That's coming your way at around 8:40, 8:50-ish today. So once again, get your texts in, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. LFC captain wants to talk a little soccer. I don't think we need to do that. There's more than other stuff to talk about. Would you not agree, Maddie? I think from the weekend that it was and leading up to the week, I think we'll just leave the soccer where it is. YTT saying, "Oh yeah, baby,
win.
Clip it." What's this?
My team, Ruud van Nistelrooy ends his as the winningest manager in Manchester United history.
Maybe you could talk about that in the Fan Zone.
Gladly. Greatest manager ever.
Bryce the Sparky says, "Morning, guys. Did Saskatchewan Winnipeg make it to the Grey Cup?" Maddie, my commish, Bryce the Sparky. He did answer that on the kind of that's a joke that he was referring to Friday when they asked him who. Yeah, you were. Yeah, we were.
It was you and I
doing the show.
I was
Man,
where
that was
Trev was,
hilarious.
though.
Yeah,
I ate the 30-year-old grub. And I lived to tell the tale.
Will Fraser as well. Programming update. We'll be here Wednesday,
of the
Thursday,
week.
Friday with YouTube Trev producing the show. So that's kind of your set menu for the week at least.
And Monday.
And Monday. Great.
It was always planned that
Monday
Dusty was going to
always
be here on
planned.
Monday
Yeah.
because travel and stuff. So you and Will from Wednesday through Monday. And
I
then
think
maybe Dusty's back on
He wants to go out for supper with me as well.
Will?
Might have a little dinner date on Friday.
this Friday.
Yeah. Because his son works at a restaurant, so we're going to go and creep on his son.
Fascinating.
Bring our wives, too. But
No,
it's not just going to be a one-on-one dinner with Andre type of deal.
I've got a one-on-one with Ryan planned, I think.
Oh, just a
Somebody else-
one-on-one?
I don't know if anyone else is going.
No
He just
dates
texted
or
me.
anything like that, yeah?
No. We did this a number of years ago, suit and steaks. We went out, we dressed up in suits and went for steaks. And
Jim
then,
all slopped up?
it was a fun night. It was the night before one of our Christmas parties, too, because I was hurting the next day for the Christmas party. We went to like Joey's for a steak, then went to J-Dub, and then went to Mercer's. It was a great night.
Steaks from all those places?
No,
Oh,
just the one. But then we went to other
You
places.
should actually see how many steaks you can eat in a night. Wouldn't that be something? Let's get to this poem here from Tube Socks. He took a long time writing it
So
out.
it is going to be done. It is going to be read with no Dusty here.
He wants it.
Okay.
I asked him. I said, you're the author here, and he said, sure, go on. He goes, he can feel bad watching it if he is watching. So, Dustin Nielsen, if you are up, because I know you haven't been sleeping, this bud's for you. A welcome back text. It says from Tube Socks. Dustin Nielsen, that chicken tender-eaten harbinger of chaos, has clawed his way back to his rightful place inside the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio after a grueling battle that must have felt like a fever dream in a dank Cranbrook double wide. All the while, Lieutenant Eric and Will Fraser took the reins like a couple of wild-eyed renegades at the helm of a psychedelic ship navigating turbulent seas. Dusty, the usual captain of this unruly vessel, having temporarily vanished into an abyss of his own making, left behind a void that Eric and Will were only too eager to fill. With Dusty incapacitated, the duo seized the moment, armed with only a camera, a couple of microphones, and a reckless disregard for the mundane, ensuring that in the face of Dusty's bizarre ailment, the Nasties still get a show. During his prolonged absence, the world spun madly on. Connor McDavid crumpled under the weight of a debilitating injury. The World Series danced past like a mirage, and the absurd spectacle of nasal waxing became a grotesque talking point among the nasties. But now, with the fervor of a man reborn, Dusty gloriously returns to the mic, ready to plunge headlong into the swirling madness that is EST. The digital airwaves are charged with nervous energy, and the truth is, we've all missed his unfiltered contributions to this surreal circus. Hold on tight. It should be a hell of a ride. Let's emphatically hit the thumbs up. Welcome back, Dusty. It was a great read, a great write from you, Stephen, a.k.a. Tube Socks. And maybe we just tuck it away, fold it up, and leave it again until he returns and reread it.
Actually, that's the thing. I think we have to write down everything Dusty's missed. Everything that's happened since the last time he was on EST Airwaves.
It is the...
There's a lot.
Well, it's the equinox or the whatever it is, like everything. He left at a time when everything was kind of coinciding and happening all at once.
Well, we got to figure
That
out
hurts.
this list because a World Series started and ended.
Scary
McDavid's
draft.
injury.
Scary draft.
You missed the draft.
The
You had the
draft.
draft. You were his proxy. That feels like many moons ago.
Zach and YouTube Trev's birthdays.
Mr. Birthdays.
Trev moving in.
Trev
Sorry.
had a full move-in with multiple
Full move.
loads.
Yep.
Full, huge loads.
Big loads.
You had... What else are we missing? We had this whole CFL playoffs take place. Like an entire playoffs took place in the
whole
Canadian
playoffs,
Football
the
League because he
whole
won't be
playoffs.
back until after Grey Cup. So
Nope.
the entire playoffs will have taken place. The Elks will have hired a president. They will have... There's a chance they might... No,
Well, you never know.
the GM would have to be announced next week. So
Tip
we'll
off
see.
of the NBA Cup.
The NBA Cup is the amount of things we need to add up of this is the list of everything.
Gus says the Nielson Show, more like the not Nielson Show. Thanks, Gus. That could be your text of the day. Simple enough. 780-218-9999. Wait, the World Series is over, Lambamba guy says. I think we could make a list. I think it could be easily a double-page list. I mean, we were hitting on the high points there, but I'm sure there's a lot, other things that we can kind of discuss. So, yeah, maybe get your text in. What did Dusty miss? The real things that Dusty missed. 780-218-9999. And we'll add them and compile a nice, tight list here. Would this be up for an SD at all? In terms of, I don't know. Maybe most time missed. You could almost create a category here if you so choose.
Well, I don't know what type of category
Moment of the
you'd
year.
create for
Moment of
this.
the year could be him missing the
His
most
return?
busiest time in sports.
Well, it'd be more of the return, I guess.
Well, define the
Slacker
awards,
of the
right?
year?
Slacker of the year.
We
Yeah,
know
something
that
like
one.
that. We could create a whole new category for it. 780-218-99. Presidential election. Bob Loblaw and Lloyd. Very.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a humdinger.
Well, the election plus all the few days after to certify all the some of those states take a while to
Sure.
finalize their numbers. We've gone through it all.
At this point, he'll miss the inauguration.
The 28th presidential campaign will begin soon.
Okay, well, we got to kind of... Okay, well, I don't know who wants to be in charge.
I'm just saying, I think
Do you have
over
a list?
time,
Are
when
you writing this all
when
out
he
here?
comes back, I think it's going to
World
be something to
Series.
look back on and go, okay, Dusty, I think partly is we have to, might as well wait till he's back because, as
a
Tube
big
Socks
scroll.
comes, we got the scroll over there. As Tube Socks wrote a whole poem and it doesn't work because he's not here today.
And Tube Socks wanted me to read it, so I asked, and he said sure, but multiple presidents during his absence, it comes in from Red. It's kind of true there, too, as well. He's, because the one and the other.
Well, the one's not there yet.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Once Was Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Get them in 780-218-9999. Time for that, Hertz. Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. When accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com. What hurt you over the weekend? What's going to hurt you to come this week? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat as well. Box Pounder, I do see as well. This didn't hurt. Him and Jackpot Jan, very lucky last night at the Central Casino Sportsman. Very lucky. So much so that Jan even threw me a 20 at the end of the night.
Oh.
Here you go. She was just dishing out cash like you wouldn't believe. Box Pounder in the nasty chat. Hey, Nasties, fun times at Central Casino last night. Jackpot Jan got lucky last night. Hopefully more in more than one way there, Box Pounder. But yeah, the loaded burgers were flying out of the kitchen and people were running all over the place. Good to see Jay, Jocelyn, Jay's dad, John, Dustin with a Y. We were talking some paranormal stuff as the Dolphins-Rams game trucked on, so that was kind of a neat conversation throughout the night. I had 2 Diet Pepsis as well. Count them up. Yeah, well, it's just, I figured, it's a holiday Monday type of thing with Remembrance
Celebrate.
Day. Yeah, kind of. But yeah, 780-218-9999. What hurts you? Over the weekend or the week to come, Matt Iwanyk, we discussed kind of prior there, you're either fired up or you're hurt, something of which. But what hurts you?
Well, I could go with the NBA. It doesn't hurt me. I'm just annoyed. I'm peeved.
You
I don't
fired
know
up?
if I want to save that one. No, I have something else for fired up. Maybe I could add that one into fired up too. No, what hurt was my Miami Hurricanes losing to Georgia Tech, 28-23.
The college football
undefeated
landscape
season comes to an end
at 10 a.m.
And now the path to the playoffs becomes a little more difficult. They have to go win the ACC now. Have to. There's no other alternative. I don't know if they could get to the ACC championship game or what happens there. But look, Cam Ward with a fumble late in the game, a strip sacked, and they lose to Georgia Tech. And they've been playing close games all year. Found a way to get the victories, but this weekend couldn't claw it out. And so it hurt. It hurt watching, that Saturday where I had everything going on.
10 a.m. It started your
with
day.
that one.
Started your day.
And the first thing to start my day was a loss. My
Yeah.
Hurricanes losing a football game. And I couldn't even watch it. The ABC I got didn't even have it on. I got Florida, Texas, where Texas dominated Florida.
Yeah, everybody
so
wanted to watch
at
that
home,
one,
and then
eh?
when I came here, I couldn't even watch the game, so I had to follow it along on my phone, and
That hurts.
that hurts that I didn't get to watch it, but also that the Miami Hurricanes lost.
Tell you what doesn't hurt though, the SEC picture right now is a lot of you could have.
Well,
you could have,
Georgia
like,
lost this week.
You could have
Ole
10
Miss.
teams going like 10-2. Like for the year that they're instituting 12 teams in that playoff or whatever. Like this could get really interesting.
Well, it opens
Somebody's
things up.
going to be left out
My Cougs
again.
They won
How did
this
they do?
weekend.
Okay.
They're ranked.
How's the old Pac-2
the
doing?
path is there for the Washington State Cougars to maybe claw their way into the playoff.
They've won 4 in a row. Oregon State's lost 4 in a row. They've yet to play each other in the conference.
We've got the big.
That's the big conference bowl they could call it, eh?
It's for all the marbles of the Pac-2.
pretty much is.
For all the marbles. And Washington lost this weekend. No offense to
Whatever.
Lucas,
You-
but they
he's-
killed the Pac-12 for this.
He had enough time.
They're
going.
one of those teams for the Pac-12 that they killed it. But yeah, that hurts. Miami Hurricanes lost.
That does hurt. And what hurts for me is I'll stick with football, and I'm just going to say the Grey Cup match. Well, it hurts. Chad Kelly hurts. I mean, that's not a good injury at all either. I mean, that's, what is it, tibia, right?
Tibia, initial reports at 6 to 9 months, although Dave Naylor, I think yesterday, said we'll know in about a few weeks. It could be a 4 to 6 month recovery. But yeah, no, Chad Kelly, the Argos, they make it to the Grey Cup, but they won't have their starting quarterback.
We've talked about this offense, too, over the past, how many weeks now, really finding, like, getting into their own and finding their footing and really kind of siphoning it for this playoff push. And I guess, obviously in the Grey Cup now, but, I mean, a totally different team with Chad Kelly on the sidelines and a Nick Arbuckle led as he took the podium yesterday as Argonauts QB1. It hurts. It hurts because, and I was telling the boys on the Bear, 100.3 the Bear, Yukon and McCord in the morning, Jess Jackson in the afternoon. For a season filled with so much parity and such excitement, and so everything coming down to the wire, and any team each week can beat any team, and kind of an even out, spread out talent base, to kind of cap it with a game like this. 10.5 points right now is what I'm seeing on Coolbet as well, as the Bombers are favored. And so they should be. Whenever you take a guy like Chad Kelly off and replace him with Nick Arbuckle. Now, again, you told me rightly so that Grey Cups, that's what they always say. Grey Cups aren't won on paper. That's the old saying that they always use. But I would like to take this time to congratulate Winnipeg on their 111th Grey Cup victory, because I just do not see. Their test was against the Riders. They passed it with flying colors. Best run defense against the rushing attack. I thought Buck Pierce called an outstanding offensive game. It was no overthinking. It was, we're going to do this. Beat us if you can. And they couldn't.
I'm not ready to declare the victory.
I am.
For a few reasons.
It's theirs to lose.
How much are the Bombers going to look at this game and go, we've got this? How much are they going to come in a little like, I'm not so sure?
It's the one thing that
Whereas
you can...
the Argos know that they have to play a perfect game now to win.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a little more focused throughout this week. The other thing I will go to, which you're going to love, I know you love this because you think history is the greatest. Where are my bookmarks?
Take me back to the 1800s, man. Tell me, spin me a tale of the Royal Toronto Air Force against the Royal Winnipeg Air Cadets.
Toronto is undefeated against Winnipeg in a championship game. They have
And that's
never
a lot.
lost.
There are a lot of them. You're not just pulling from 2 or 3 here.
8 games. Toronto was 8-0. 8-0.
They got history on their side.
History's on their side. And number 3, I will say the years that we usually go into a Grey Cup where we think it's going to be an utter blowout, it's not. And the one I think most that I go to the most, I think, was the 14 Grey Cup when it was Hamilton-Calgary, and we all thought Calgary hosting Hamilton
that
or playing
Banks
Hamilton
touchdown again.
It was going to be a blowout. It was going to be easily a Calgary victory. And Brandon Banks had that punt return touchdown, which would have given Hamilton the lead very late. A bad call, if what I remember correctly, took that off the board, and Calgary ended up holding on. Now, they still won that game, but it came very close.
Yeah.
And I think even, when Toronto was taking on Winnipeg a couple years ago, or even I would say Montreal taking on Winnipeg last year, there was a lot of, this is Winnipeg. Winnipeg's so good. Winnipeg's so good. Mm-hmm. And they got it done. They got it done. And so I'm not ready to just declare the winner of the 111th Grey Cup to be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
I do like you taking the history
route.
favorite,
though.
But the Bombers
for a reason.
Historically could avenge the 07 Grey Cup as well here. Against a guy in Ryan Dinwiddie who had to start in place of Kevin Glenn. It's funny how this all kind of happens here. But, I mean, the 07 Bombers were a hell of a team led by Kevin Glenn. Great defense. But taking him out of that offensive picture just led, James Johnson had, 3 picks that game? It was just kind of one of those things where they couldn't. And again, Toronto's defense, but how much can they hold on? They're going to have to create a lot. They're going to have to do a lot, obviously, and do the heavy lifting.
But that's the thing. So one, you have a good defense in the Toronto Argonauts. So right there, can they do their job enough? And then for Nick Arbuckle, you don't need him to be Chad Kelly.
You don't?
You don't need him to be this. You need him to be star manager. You just need to be a game manager. You've got a great running back in Kadeem Carey. Mm-hmm. You've got McMahon, who could be a nice number 2, and you've got some good receiving, weapons in the receiving core. Daniels, Coxey, there are players there. Just don't turn it over.
Yeah,
get the ball into your playmakers' hands. And this is going to come down to what type of offensive game plan is Ryan Dinwiddie going to call. Well, how's he going to go about it? But don't ask Nick Arbuckle to do too much.
Well, you can't.
Also, the other part to all this is Janarian Grant. How much could he impact this game as a returner? Look, Janarian Grant came for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. There's a guy right there that might want to stick this to his old club as well. So when he's a threat every time he receives that ball in the kick or punt return. Couldn't he flip field position enough at certain moments in that game? I'm not going to even just go touchdown. That allows the Argos to be in a position to maybe keep this game close going into the fourth quarter, and that's all you want. If you're the Argos, you want this close game in the fourth quarter because then anything can happen. And Zach Collaros is known for his mistakes in Grey Cup games too.
Well, he's trying to cement a legacy here.
He is. But he's a guy that I got to see if I can find his history in games because he'll throw picks.
But does he even need to? He could just manage a game as well with their running game right now. And Brady Oliveira, your MOP, your MOP, running the way he did, especially against the Riders' defense. I would just say a steady diet of that. They don't even need to go all out really in terms of.
Toronto's the second best run defense in the Canadian Football League.
Yep. Well, they already beat the first.
Yep. But.
Bootsteel 5 says, sorry, LT, but the Argos without Kelly are still way better than the Riders. Grey Cup upset is possible. Well, it's all possible. But again, they took on the best rushing defense and they beat them. So crown their ass. That's what I'm saying. I know the Argos. I know the Argos will put up a fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that without Chad Kelly, who's been leading this offense, it's going to be very, very tough. And it's suggested right now today by the 10.5 line. But yeah, anything can happen. It's a championship game. Neutral site. I know the Bombers get to choose to wear their royal blues pants and jerseys, so they'll be fired up for that.
Collaros. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception last year in the Grey Cup game. Oh, and then, of course, CFL doesn't give me stats for any of the other games prior. So
no, you don't need those.
It's impossible to find stats of that.
Do they have
Thanks,
stats
Randy.
for the 1868 4-3 victory? I'd love to see.
Good job, Randy.
How many rouges were scored in that one? Hey,
I think Randy's
They're all
State of the
rouges.
Unions today or something like that.
Is today the state?
He brought in this new stats thing, and I can't even look back on stats from 2 years ago. Before he got this whole new stats thing that started last year, I could look at stats for a number of years. Now I can't even see what happened 2 years ago in the Grey Cup.
Would you say
Good
that
job,
hurts?
Randy. No, not getting stats.
Say it. That hurts.
The Miami Hurricanes still hurts. That hurts.
780-218-9999 or in the Nasty Chat. That is That Hurts for James H. Brown Injury Alerts. We'll get a sports update here from YouTube Trev for Nisky Glass, whom I'm actually dealing with right now. Great people to deal with if you need a windshield repaired or other glass needs. Nisky Glass. Check out what they can do for you. Trev's got more on that coming up. It's Lieutenant Eric Matthew Iwanyk, The Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
the NHL last night, the Hurricanes won 5-2 over Vegas, which is the Golden Knights' first home loss of the season. The Avalanche edged Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames topped the Kings 3-1. Stars smacked the Penguins 7-1. Habs over the Sabres 7-5, snapping a 6-game losing streak. Flyers get past the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout. And tonight in the NHL, the Oilers open a 2-game homestand when they host the Islanders. Join Tom Gazzola here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock following the Reed Wilkins Show. Oilers are coming off a 7-3 win in Vancouver Saturday night. Other action tonight, Canucks hosting the Flames. Jets look to make it 7 in a row when they visit the Rangers. Leafs at home to play Ottawa. Bruins visit the Blues, and the Seattle Kraken welcome in the Columbus Blue Jackets. And also tonight is Game 1 of the playoffs for YouTube Trev and his team. The See You Next Tuesdays. This is YouTube Trev's final season with the squad as him and his team look to go for the three-peat. The ball drops at 7:30. In the NFL, the Miami Dolphins improved to 3-6 with a 23-15 victory over the LA Rams. The loss drops the Rams to 4-5 on the season. Week 11 kicks off Thursday when the Commanders visit the Eagles. And to finish things off in the association, Cavaliers are now a perfect 12-0 to start the season following a 119-113 win in Chicago. Thunder remain atop of the West with a 134-128 victory over the Clippers. And in the NBA in-season tournament action tips off tonight with 8 games, including the Raptors visiting the Bucks. I'm YouTube Trev, and you are up to date. The Sports Update is brought to you by Nisku Glass. If you're looking for replacement glass for your construction equipment or fleet vehicles, or a home or business owner looking to upgrade your space with high-efficiency windows and modern glass designs, Nisku Glass is here to help. From your home or business to your vehicle, they won't just meet your glass needs, they'll shatter them. Check out their Instagram or give them a call at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.35. It is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. On the TuneIn and iHeartRadio apps and on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, once again, kindly hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and smash that sub if you haven't already, and you'll be all up to date on anything and everything EST. 7 degrees for a high this afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud. The fair to moderate temperatures continue. Looks nice. Could get a little snow on Friday. But other than that, a couple of nice days on tap weather-wise. It's Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk with you. YouTube Trev producing the show, locking it down, keeping you updated on the sports world as well. And 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. We'll dive back into this puppy. A couple of texts to get to. Once again, if we are missing any things that Dustin Nielson has missed during his time off, please let us know in the Paris Jewelers inbox or in the YouTube nasty chat. By the time Dusty is back, his son is going to be running the show. It's time to think outside the box. Lieutenant Eric Show with Nielson sometimes. Ray says Miami is a schedule fraud. Saw that text just fly in there. Matt, I don't know if you want to touch on that at all, but we can just move on. Where is it here? The Godfather also mentioning that Dusty missed Sexy Crayon for Halloween.
He missed another sexy.
And he missed
sexy
showing
crayon.
us his costume as well in that process, too. So Halloween was another thing.
Missed all of it.
The draft and
Missed
the
candy.
And the, the candy. Piece of candy. Piece of candy.
Piece of candy.
Piece of candy.
He missed Kelvin's wife brought in a cake.
Yes.
So he missed the cake.
Yeah, score cake. Score cake.
It
You're
was
right.
a score cake. We had another, I forgot which winner.
Zach's birthday cake.
There was a winner of Kind of Easy Trivia text of the day that came in and brought some Nanaimo bars and some carrot cake and stuff. Missed that. You did miss that one, Trev.
Nah.
Sorry. Missed a few things. We keep adding. Missed the smell of Gager's candle.
Grandpa's pipe. Everybody likes a bit of Grandpa's pipe, eh? That's when you're talking about?
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
No, that Stranger Things
Will loves
candle
the
that he
Grandpa's
has
pipe, yeah.
is absolutely dynamic.
You
There's not much left.
I know.
I don't think we're allowed to burn that much anymore.
We're trucking down. Gage will have to bring in those 3 wick ones. They ain't cheap.
You could get it. You could buy those for like $3 for
You find a deal, but
$25 or something.
still
Bath
enough
and
for a
body or
candle.
whatever.
Yeah. Make your own.
Howard's nice.
Vance Van Vandervan says, sure, they killed the Pac-12, but I killed a 12-pack. 780-218-9999. Nice text there. 6:37, let's get into Fire It Up. I know Trev's fired up about a little something, as he mentioned in the sports update, but what are you fired up from the weekend or fired up this week? Gemco Fireplaces has been proudly serving Edmonton area for 45 years. They are the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. It is fired up for Gemco Napoleon Fireplaces. Matthew Iwanyk, again, you touched on the in-season tournament. No, you touched on Miami.
Do you want me to start on that?
Yeah,
or
sure.
do you want me to go because I've got a good fired up or an angry fired up?
Start with the anger and we'll finish with the good, maybe. Get
The
that all
NBA
out of
Cup,
here.
Adam Silver screwed this up.
Emirates
mightily.
NBA Cup.
For multiple reasons. We talked about it earlier before the show started. Don't even know when the draw took place.
Which is the best thing about in-season tournaments.
Yes, the NBA Cup has been stolen or has been taken from soccer worlds. We know that. So you should take the good parts of where this comes from. The drawing of the teams is one of the best parts of these cups, where you make it a whole television spectacle, have like Michael Jordan come out or something and open up the balls and all that. Even that, like soccer's ruined it a little bit with Champions League because it's now like a button that Cristiano Ronaldo was pushing, and it was really dumb.
However entertaining that button was, it's not the same.
It wasn't the same as the ball system. So it should be a nice big television production, but also when we're looking and we're like, oh, July 12th, don't even remember when that was happening. 2, allow for cross-conference promotion, like cross-conference games. Don't keep this by conferences. That's the beauty of it, is that you could have a group of like the Toronto Raptors, the Orlando Magic, OKC, the Spurs, and the Golden State Warriors.
You're always seated within your
group.
conference to begin with during regular season, so why not mix it up a bit?
We already know there's a regular season, and then the part that really annoys me most is that tonight's also a regular season game for the NBA Cup games. They matters for both things. No, the NBA Cup should be the NBA Cup. The regular season should be the regular season. And if you want to do this properly, that's how you have to separate the two. And so I'm mad that Adam Silver took this idea from soccer and like they've talked about that it's kind of from soccer and hasn't done it right. Break it up. Cut your league down to like 72 regular season games, but then replace those games with NBA Cup action and build a brand new schedule for it.
You're fired up.
Because it's just done so wrong. And eventually one day hockey's going to add this, and I hope hockey does it right. And we get the Hockey Cup. I hope they make it very
the
simple.
Hockey Cup.
Like something very simple and generic.
Not the This isn't the Stanley Cup. This is the Hockey Cup. The NHL Cup.
And don't do it as part of the regular season. And allow for those unique like little groups that you just normally won't get to see.
I'm fired up for you being a Lakers fan, and you did capture the inaugural in-season tournament banner. Yeah. You now have a chance to capture the inaugural NBA Cup banner as well. Imagine both of those hanging next to each other down there.
Well, if they do it, it's
Staples.
It's huge
Crypto.
because the group of death that they're in is very difficult to get through. So if they manage to go get this done, not only do they win back-to-back and are the only in-season and NBA Cup winners ever. They did it through the group of death, and I don't know what type of legacy that creates for LeBron. Like, that's untouched.
Fired up, Gemco Fireplaces, 780-218-9999. What's got you fired up from the weekend or heading into this week? YouTube Trev, again, if you didn't, as we mentioned in the sports update here, your retirement season continues here. Fill us in. You sounded fired up.
I'm very fired up. It all starts tonight. Playoffs, baby. Game 1 all starts tonight, and I cannot wait. And it's ball hockey tonight. YouTube Trev's last performance, he had 8 points, 6 goals, 2 apples against a team that has never played hockey before in their life. They were holding they were holding sticks like canoe paddles. It was tough
New
to watch.
Canadians type of thing.
Yes,
idiots,
yes. And so not much of a flex. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We had volleyball last week. We won, and we're going to start the playoffs tonight with some floor hockey.
2 questions about the league.
Yes.
Have you been benched since the last bench?
Nope.
Was there any discussion about the benching?
No. They didn't bring it up.
You didn't bring it up, though?
I didn't bring it up. Let's move on. It's water under the fridge. Yeah. Let's move on.
You speak in practice with your performance. You put in the
Correct.
work.
Yeah, because then we played.
Do you not have any fear that you could be doing well and get benched again?
No, because this is none of them have ever played hockey before, and they need me tonight, so I'm not getting off. And even if they want me to get off, I'm gonna say no. You guys need me out there, so that's what's gonna happen. And I'm putting my foot down. I'm the oldest one on the team. I'm 26. Okay, I'm almost 30. You know, they're all like 20-year-olds.
How do you get benched by 20-year-olds?
I don't know. I don't know.
You guys want to be bad in the room.
I don't want to be,
you know,
yeah, exactly. I don't want to be toxic. I'm a team player, but at the same time, like, you got to let me cook out there, you know? So that's what's going down tonight. 7:30 ball drop, and I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Full recap on tomorrow's
so
show.
Fired up. Oh,
The entire third hour.
yeah. That'll be awesome.
Smith TM14 says fired up. Just text fired up into the nasty chat. I love that. Is there a cool bet on Dusty's return yet? Ryan Hodgkins asked. No, but maybe we could add that in the EST parlay. Hey, you can kind of add a flyer on there. Hey, a future, if you will. So we'll be anxious to see. Do you think you're 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points? You think you're going to eclipse that then tonight? Probably. Hey, you don't know the opposition.
I'd like
yet,
to
do
at
you?
least get 4.
Do you know the team
points.
you're going against?
No.
No. So no scouting. There's no
scouting report, but I just know if it is the team that we
You roll
played
in
before,
well,
I like our chances.
there's no way they could have made it to the.
No.
If they're a playoff team, I question the league.
Well, it's multi-sport, right? So they were good at the soccer. I'm pretty sure like the way that we have like an indoor soccer team.
So it's total point, and then they.
Yeah, and then so it's luck of the draw, whatever. Like you could be the most skilled team, but you could be really bad at like volleyball, and if that's what we play in the final, like it's weird how the finals work. I'm not really a fan on that, but I'm fired up, baby. Let's go.
You had a bad fired up.
Yeah.
You're good fired up.
I saw this before the show started. East-West final TV ratings up 18.2% for the CFL for this past weekend. The Toronto-Montreal game, including the French numbers from RDS, 1.7 million people tuned into the East final. Out West, 1.1, just over 1.1 million. So they averaged 1.4 million with the French included. Last year, it was 1.19 million that watched the two games. And for the most part, like last year you had Montreal-Toronto, so it was a rematch. That was 1.348 million. This year, 1.714 million. So a huge increase there. Last year was BC-Winnipeg. In what was a really fun West final as well, a big market in Vancouver. That one was just over 1 million. So this year with the Saskatchewan in there, creeps it up just a little more. You look at just the last few years. The last time they had numbers this high was 2019. They had a Winnipeg-Saskatchewan West final that was 1.6 million. But Edmonton-Hamilton was shy of 1 million. So like it's really good numbers that they saw. They've seen that creep up. Hockey Night in Canada, 5 p.m., the early game had just shy of 1.5 million this past weekend. And Edmonton-Vancouver was just over 1 million this weekend. So it was right there with those hockey numbers. And they're both national broadcasts. So, CFL right there with the NHL when it comes to all of that. And the one thing is the West Final, they weren't on CTV.
Yeah.
The first game was on CTV. The West Final was not on CTV, so they didn't get that little accessible numbers that are a little bit easier. And this is like maybe TSN and CTV will learn next year that you need to be on both CTV and TSN. But that I'm fired up by seeing those numbers. That I thought this was a dying league. I thought this was a dying league.
I think this will fire people up in both this way that you're saying, but also in some ways that people don't want to be fired up, if you know what I mean here. But especially when you pull out the hockey comparison, that will fire people up.
Yeah. If you go strictly TSN CTV versus the Hockey Night in Canada 5 o'clock, I'm going to take the French numbers out of this. Just shy of 1.5 million for whatever was on that 5 o'clock game on Hockey Night in Canada. 1.27 million. So like 250,000 people less for a CFL East final versus a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game or something like that.
It's got you fired up here. I'm fired up here for Curtis Rourke. You hear about this? Hey, he returned, beat Michigan. The Hoosiers now first ever 10-0 start in college football. He's got a 21-4 touchdown interception ratio. This sets up a thrilling end to the season for Indiana as they will play number 2 Ohio State in Columbus Saturday, 10 o'clock. Same time when your Miami Hurricanes fell to Georgia Tech. Number 5 Indiana visiting number 2 Ohio State. They'll finish off hosting Purdue on the 30th. But Curtis Rourke, it's just the season that he's had. And I don't know. Again, everybody was talking. There's Heisman whispers and stuff.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation. I don't think I don't know what it is with an NFL future for him. Who knows? That'll remain to be seen. Of course, size and all that it comes into play whenever you're talking about an NFL quarterback and such. But the numbers he's putting up, and in the season it's been for the Hoosiers football, 10-0, tied with Oregon atop the Big Ten right now. It's just looking good. I'm fired up for him. I'm fired up for a school that never really traditionally has success in that particular sport. And it sets up a fired up game. I'm for Ohio State and Indiana this Saturday, 2v5. Hoosier Nation, UI, let's go. Hey,
let's go. Let's get him in the Heisman watch.
It's not like Miami's in.
Well, they still could do it. They could still do it. They could still be in there. So I found an article from November 5th on ESPN from a sports betting analyst. So that was before this weekend. Mm-hmm. Had Curtis Rourke as the biggest mover in terms of the Heisman watch. So he's in the discussions. Does Coolbet have any numbers on this?
He missed one game with that hand injury. Came back and fighting for him, 4 touchdowns against Michigan State, and then obviously what he did against Michigan on the weekend. But that is a huge game Saturday in Columbus. That'll really test his mettle. Fired up for that.
He's on, and so he's even moved even higher according to FanDuel, plus 1,400. I don't see anything on Coolbet. But in the States, FanDuel in the States has it as plus 1,400 for Curtis Rourke. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6th.
So 6, yeah.
You're in the conversation. You're getting invited.
Doing
to
what
New
he's
York.
doing to that school is with that school in the Big Ten.
If he keeps going on this, he's getting invited to New York for the Heisman.
Well, beats Ohio State on Saturday for sure. Hey, got to be.
Well, that's not. Which Saturday is that? That's in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
If you beat Ohio State in a couple weeks, build him a statue.
Dusty might be missing that as well. Curtis Rourke statue building Heisman invite.
Well, if you're Indiana, build him the statue if you beat Ohio State. Do you go to Ohio State Stadium and you go beat them when they're number 2 in the nation?
Ray says Indiana's a schedule fraud too. Well, hey. The test will be in a couple of Saturdays. Hampton Steve says, I'm fired up that once again the Blue Jays are being used by Scott Boras in the Juan Soto negotiations. This is going to be a Tawny Jet all over again. It is happening, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it actually is happening.
Who was it? I saw it from one writer yesterday. Where was it? Yeah, John Heyman, NewYorkPost.com. The biggest obstacle to keeping Juan Soto in New York with either the Yankees or Mets could well be the motivated, deep-pocketed Blue Jays.
I saw a tweet from Bones replying to Macramala quote tweeting that. It was Arlene Dickinson, but they're commonly mistaken for each other. Which dragon will it be exiting the jet this time, eh? I'm
Brad Tree Living is going to come off.
Give me another Jays jet. I'll be up following that.
I don't. Here's the thing if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan. Don't get excited at all.
Well, why would you?
Strictly, the only time to get excited about Juan Soto being a Toronto Blue Jays if there's a press conference and you see him holding a Toronto Blue Jays jersey in Toronto. Outside, don't do this to yourself. Don't get excited just to be hurt. No. Just don't get your hopes up.
Don't get fired up.
Don't get fired up.
For
we don't need a James H. Brown that hurts. When it's Jays fans got all excited and all of a sudden here comes Arlene Dickinson off the plane, and instead he's a New York Met or something. Just don't get your hopes up.
Kikuchi's got another table for 8. Look, I'm here for it as a non-Jays supporter. It is rather fun. And who's not up for another hashtag insert player's name jet? We had that afternoon. It was great.
And I know I'm a Yankee fan. I
fired me up.
And I know you might be, you're just trying to crap on the Jays. No, the history says these guys aren't going to necessarily come. Maybe Juan Soto does go to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but wait till the press conference to get excited because generally what's going to happen or what's happened more often than not is if you get excited, it's not going to happen. You're going to be hurt.
That's fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. They've been proudly serving Edmonton area for 45 years. Check them out today at Gemco Fireplaces, 9281 50th Street. I think what we're all fired up for as well is the Oilers back home 2-game homestand cracking open this week, beginning tonight against the Islanders, especially following Saturday's big win in Vancouver against the Canucks. You got to like that. It's 7-1 now, these Oilers. We'll have more on that coming up throughout the show today. Craig Button will be by just after 7 o'clock. We'll get his thoughts on that win, setting up tonight's game. A bit of the... Did any of you boys catch the Hockey Hall of Fame stuff? I was watching it in the casino with no sound. So I was kind of adding my own words to everybody speaking and everything, but not pulling away anything from last night's. I mean, it's ceremony, whatever, right? Like,
Yeah,
it happens and it happens. No bloopers
I
coming
get
out of
it.
it or anything.
You need these ceremonies. The people get their moments.
Yeah.
I don't watch it. Now it's on to 2025, and I'd like to get Craig's thoughts on who are the locks for 2025 in his eyes, because there's some decent names for next year that are going on the ballot. Joe Thornton, Chara, Price, Keith, Getzlav, Rask. I don't know. Duncan Keith's already going on there.
Did you catch any of it last night, Trev? Were you watching?
No, just saw some highlights, or if you could call them highlights. I watched a little bit. I saw Pavel Datsuk's speech. It was actually very nice. He was like, "I'd like to thank my opponents," and he just was. You made me the player who I am. So that was pretty cool. And then I saw Jeremy Roenick. He got pretty emotional with whatever he was saying in like 2008. He was. I don't know what the story was, but yeah, I mean, you kind of, it's on to next year, same thing.
Yeah.
It happens one night, but
Yeah, we congratulate all the recipients
cool.
and
shout out to
inductees.
Datsuk. Yep.
Vegas also dropping their first on home ice last night to the high-flying Hurricanes 5-2. The rest of the NHL picture, of course, Colorado over Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames dumping the Kings 3-1. Dallas hanging 7 on Pittsburgh, 7-1 victory there, and Montreal snapping a 6-game slide, 7-5 over Buffalo. So full slate of games once again tonight, including the Oilers at home to the Islanders. And once again, we'll have more on that throughout the show and throughout the day here on EST, leading up to the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola. That comes immediately following the Reed Wilkins show tonight at around 6 o'clock here. But Craig Button coming up next. We'll have an orange and blue breakfast as well in the third hour to get you set for that. And your EST Flyway to LA keyword, that's coming up midway through the second hour here on the Nielson Show. Presented, as always, by South Fort Chevrolet. And you can drive a little, save a lot with the great team out in Fort Saskatchewan. Tell them EST sent you. You'll get an additional $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. They won't be beaten on any price. Find the best deal you think you can, and then take it out to the fort, and they'll beat it as well. Other than that, once again, the Week 10 of the NFL wrapping up last night. I don't know how much time you want to spend on the Dolphins winning. Tyreek Hill got a touchdown for the first time in what feels like a long, long time.
Wasn't supposed to play.
No, Tua's tackling
injury.
guys head first.
Yeah, there was. Hey,
well, who cares,
football.
right? Yeah,
What's
it's
the worst
football.
that could happen?
Yeah, who needs a guardian cap? Big loss though for the Rams in terms of trying to keep pace there in the playoff picture and the hunt for them.
Although, what a Sunday nighter if you want to go to primetime games.
Absolutely, sure. Like, let's get to the meat of that. A quick NFL blitz package, I guess. But yeah, Lions 26-23 over the Texans.
Like, Dusty's missing out on being able to brag about
Sure, that's another thing.
his Texans or his Lions.
Lions dominant.
23-7 at halftime for those Houston Texans, and the Lions storm all the way back to win that football game on the road too. Like, we're
Against
not even
those
talking.
candy apple red uniforms, hey?
Oh, they were great unis.
You like those?
I
Yeah, yeah.
love those unis. You didn't like them? No, like, it's
Take 'em or leave 'em.
the Lions are just once again proving that, like, I don't know who stops them in the NFC. They should be the representatives of the NFC in the Super Bowl.
NFC
They
for
should
sure.
be.
Yeah.
And the question then is just, how are they going to hurt their fans? In what way are they going to hurt their fans? Because the Detroit Lions will find a way to hurt their fans. But that was just an excellent Sunday Night Football game. Yesterday, a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
When it came to yesterday's game,
Absolutely.
which does make it a lot of fun. But yeah, for the Rams, like, that division is heating up, and that's a tough loss.
Maybe not the best division of football, but maybe one of the tightest.
Yeah, you got the 49ers who seem to maybe be turning on a little bit. They've won 2 straight. The Cards have won 4 straight.
4 straight, yeah.
You know, you want to keep close proximity to them, and they just couldn't get it done. They just couldn't find the end zone.
I know you're one of many saying the Jets can still make the playoffs if they run the table. Do you still maintain that opinion?
The New York Jets?
Yes.
Let me take a look here. So they're only 2 games back of a playoff spot.
Sure.
Why not? This is the Jets' year. This might be it.
Well, things seem to be going quite well with them.
They're just lulling the rest of the AFC into a false sense of security.
And then it's time to pounce and attack when they find the time.
Then they're going to pounce.
Steelers are the big win as well. They are 7-2, sitting atop the AFC North right now in terms of games played and all that. But
And then the Chiefs finding a way to win yet again.
man,
A blocked field goal. How often do you see that in the National Football League?
And I was kind of thinking about the Broncos. We had Herm Edwards on Friday discussing that. Great defense there. 16-14 the win. I mean, they had them. Like every team has had so far this season, and they let them off the hook. Again, the Chiefs. They're never going to lose. And that's the thing. You either dominate teams, like you can go out there and dominate. You do so much dominating, and you hit a banana peel. They're just finding the most complicated ways to, like, every single way to win. They're doing it now. And yes, they're tight and they're not dominating, but that's even more scarier than going out and dominating every week. Because when you go out and dominate every week, you get so sure of yourself that you slip up every once in a while. They're not going to do it. They're going to run the table. They're going to do the thing that Brady could never do, right?
Oh, wouldn't that be something for Mahomes?
In a season like this?
Well, that's, the thing is, Mahomes is getting in that territory where we're on the Brady watch.
Yeah.
With rings, with all of that.
You just wait.
If he gets the undefeated season, the true, the full undefeated season that Brady never did, that's a huge feather in his cap.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't even think of that part for that discussion. And for Adam Reed versus Bill Belichick, because Adam Reed is now Andy Reid. Sorry, Adam Reid.
Adam Reid.
Andy Reid is now, like, some people are. Is he maybe better than Belichick in terms of all-time greatest coaches?
Yeah.
You go get now it would have to be 19-0 because of the extra regular season game.
Yeah, but adjusted
if you go get the undefeated season, but that includes the ring at the end. Ooh, what does that do for their legacy?
Smith TM14 says Cards won 3 walk-off field goals. The Elks lost 3 walk-off field goals.
Yeah, it's the fine lines.
That's the difference between success and, I mean...
you go to look at the Riders, like the West Final could have been in Saskatchewan this past weekend. Had the Riders not had a stretch of weird losses week after week after week after week.
Had the Argonauts had a standard end zone size, maybe they're not getting that field goal
right.
game. I mean,
it's those fine lines and how it works. And the Cards, they're finding ways to win right now. Now, am I going to pick the Cards to be a team that is going to go and do some damage come playoff time? No.
Probably not, no. But
I also did pick them to be a team to surprise some people this year.
Zola's fired up. Maybe he'll bring out his black cap again.
Who do they got next? They
Usually
get the Seahawks.
Week 1, eh?
They should be fine with the Seahawks. They get the Vikings, who have just slipped. The Vikings are starting to slip.
Yeah, well, the shine's coming
Sam
off.
Darnold is maybe being...
Is he flying back down to earth where we are?
Maybe. 12-7 win over the Jags this weekend.
Resident sports uniform critic, Tube Socks. Those Texans uniforms were an affront to professional sports team uniforms. Norman Combine, Texans fan, says hate the helmets, so he doesn't mind the rest of it. They had a bit of shine to them, hey? Like they had a bit of it was like a chromey look, would you say?
I like the entire look. I don't know. I don't know what Tube Socks is talking about.
Dolphin Nation says we can discuss the Monday night game all day if you like. I don't think we gave it its air there, but you can join me again Thursday night at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, kicking off Week 11 in the National Football League. It will be Commanders and Eagles, a delicious, mouth-watering game there.
Nothing beats the NFC East
from Philly. Not in prime time, Maddie. These are your big games, and how about them Cowboys? Hey. Jerry Jones can't even build a stadium right with the sun getting in his players' eyes trying to get their touchdown.
Do you know what I love? I don't know if you saw his press conference where they asked him about the
stadium construction?
The sun and all that?
Yeah.
Did you see the press conference at all?
No.
Okay, so he was being asked, for those that don't know, when they built AT&T Stadium, they didn't take the sun into account because they put massive windows in one end. And they didn't realize, well, when we play most of our football games, the sun might be coming through in one of them, and it blinds the one team that's playing that way for a little bit. So Jerry Jones was asked this weekend about the idea of just like putting curtains up. He's like, people are like, did you ever just think of maybe putting curtains up? And he's like, what, we're going to build a new stadium or something? Like, it goes to immediately the idea of just... There's these windows and they don't work. And instead of just putting curtains up, his mind just immediately goes, no, we got to build maybe a brand new... I'm not going to spend billions of dollars to build a new stadium as opposed to going to like Walmart, just picking up some curtains and throwing them up.
Put a cheap tint on them for crying out loud. People tint their cars all the time.
But the moment you critique part of this, his solution is, well, what? We got to build a brand new stadium?
You know what's going to happen here is he's going to lobby the NFL and they won't play an afternoon game again. Like they'll be totally off the afternoon slate, depending on like the timeline there. Like they'll play like maybe more or less in the latter half of the season or whatever, but they won't play when the sun is like any time that the sun can be in that realm. They will not have a home game. Bank it. He'll get it. All primetime games.
I just love that they didn't take into account the sun.
It's the one thing. Hey, Jerry Jones, he's got it all figured out. Not the sun. 7:01. We are changing 100 as well. The old U2. Love
Changing 100,
baby. Oh. Thank you very much, Trev, for that. I conched all you listening today as well.
I don't have the
conch. And viewing your.
I was going to go this way. Let's go.
That is a hell of a thing.
Wrong one.
Well, it is.
There we go. Hallelujah is what I wanted.
It is Tombstone Tuesday. Get in your
I'm your
Tombstone
Huckleberry.
clips. There you go. I love it.
got some of
We
those to
continue
play.
on the Nielsen Show. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, YouTube Trev has a sports update right now. We'll be back with TSN's Craig Button, getting more into the Oilers and Islanders as Hour 2 of the Nielsen Show continues here on EST.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
In the NHL last night, the Hurricanes won 5-2 over Vegas, which is the Golden Knights' first home loss of the season. The Avalanche edged Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames topped the Kings 3-1. Stars smacked the Penguins 7-1. Habs over the Sabres 7-5, snapping a 6-game losing streak. Flyers get past the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout, all thanks to Matvei Michkov. And tonight in the NHL, the Oilers open a 2-game homestand when they host the Islanders. Join Tom Gazzola here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock following the Reed Wilkins Show. Oilers are coming off a 7-3 win in Vancouver Saturday night. Other action tonight, Canucks hosting the Flames. Jets look to make it 7 in a row when they visit the Rangers. Leafs at home to play Ottawa. Bruins visit the Blues. And the Seattle Kraken welcome in the Columbus Blue Jackets. Over to the NFL, the Miami Dolphins improved to 3-6 with a 23-15 victory over the LA Rams. The loss drops the Rams to 4-5 on the season. Week 11 kicks off Thursday when the Commanders visit the Eagles. And to finish things off in the association, Cavaliers are now a perfect 12-0 to start the season following a 119-113 win in Chicago. Thunder remain atop of the West with a 134-128 victory over the Clippers. And then the NBA in-season tournament action tips off tonight with 8 games, including the Raptors visiting the Bucks. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date. The sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:05 on the Nielsen Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Happy Tuesday to you, Tombstone Tuesday. If you are listening on the iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, and of course on YouTube as well, smash that thumbs up, hit the like, and hit the sub. We will be setting you up for Oilers and Islanders throughout the remaining 2 hours of the show. And your chance to win some prizing as well. Text of the day to A&W, $20 on the line. We'll have $25 to Mr. Mike's for Kind of Easy Trivia coming up just after 8 o'clock as well today. And your next chance as well to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA. That's coming up mid 7 o'clock hour here. Around 7:25, we'll give you your next keyword to qualify. So be by your phone around then. We'll be joined by Craig Button here momentarily. He's for Pro-Am Sports today, our hockey insider analyst. We'll get his thoughts on Oilers Islanders. Of course, we'll go back to the Oilers win in Vancouver Saturday as well. Get his thoughts on that and the Hockey Hall of Fame inductees. Both last night and to come the next time that they have their induction ceremony, and get his thoughts on who he sees having their names called, and some speeches, some teary eyes, and the rest, all involved in the Hockey Hall of Fame induction. 780-218-9999 is the number to text the Paris Jewelers inbox. And, of course, the Nielsen Show presented each and every day by our fine friends out at Fort Saskatchewan and South Fort Chevrolet. Go see them today. Drive a little, save a lot. Daniel and the team. $1,000 credit on your trade-in if you tell them EST sent you. Looks like Craig's good to go in the bullpen. We appreciate his time this morning. Won't make him wait any longer. Craig Button, TSN, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Find the details about their private signing with Corey Perry, where you can submit your items or select from theirs on the website located at Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue, or online at proamsports.ca. Dustin Nielsen still off today. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk with you, and we welcome in Craig Button. Craig, good morning, man. I hope you enjoyed the long weekend, had a good Remembrance Day. Let's go back to Saturday. Of course, Oilers and Islanders tonight to open a 2-game homestand, but the Oilers getting back in the win column with a 7-3 victory over the Canucks. Goals coming in bunches there near the end, but what's kind of the main thing you're pulling from that victory out in Vancouver against their division rivals from Saturday night? He's muted. And go. Nope. One sec, Craig. We'll be right back. Hang tight. Craig Button once again for Pro-Am Sports.
That was a great answer, too. You could just tell.
Well, they're always the best when you can't hear, and you can't recapture that gold again, hey? Like, that's always the thing. But Matty called it. Mr. Lean was on. He said it would be a big win one way or another Saturday night. And that's coming off that crushing loss to the Golden Knights, obviously on home ice midweek last week. But it's a funny team, these Oilers. You know, they 7-1, and you're thinking, okay, now they've got it back. Do they finally have it back? As I was talking with Will Fraser, have the floodgates kind of broken? I know, again, about a 5-minute span in that Canucks game, it was bang, 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 and maybe the scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect the game as a whole, but it'll be interesting this week, of course, against the Islanders tonight. An Islanders team I'm not too...
And then it's the Preds.
And then the Preds, which, again, we all know the struggles they've had and the success
And that the Oilers own
certain individuals have against the Preds. But 2 home games tonight and Thursday night at home to Nashville. Then it's a 3-game trip, Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa over the weekend into the early part of next week. We are still as... I think we got you now, Craig.
Oh, I'm hearing him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, once Trip
yeah.
brings you on... there he is.
Nice to see you.
Well,
Nice to hear you.
Matt, yeah, and Matt, you're right. It was just what I said earlier when you couldn't hear me was brilliant. Some of my best eloquence that I've ever had, and I forget what I said now. So, Eric, what was it? What was it? Oh, it was something about the Oilers. Let me think. Okay, I got it. I remember now. It was too much talent on that team for them not to score.
Yeah.
They were doing. I mean, they just weren't scoring. They were doing everything you would want to see a team do with respect to creating offense and creating chances. And the floodgates opened on Saturday, and there's no question they were going to open up. And I said this a couple of times in the last 10 days. When the offense got going, the Oilers were going to be just fine. And their defensive game is moving in absolutely the right direction. But everything kind of working together now. And like I said, too much ability, too much skill to keep a team down off the score sheet like teams were doing. And I think you're going to see the Oilers just start to pick up steam here and pick up some speed and obviously pick up wins and points.
How do you keep that going, though, and make sure that it's not just a one-game thing if you're the team? If you're the Oilers inside that locker room, how do you make sure that it's just not, yeah, we're good now, we're back, but, you still got to go out and get those goals. How do they make sure to get that going? And actually we could all, and Oiler fans can feel confident that the goals are there now.
Yeah, so Matt, it's a great question. So when you look at the metrics and you look at the analytics for the Edmonton Oilers, they were right at the top of the league in terms of generating scoring chances. They just weren't scoring. So as a coach, if you're Chris Knobloch and you're coming in and they're not scoring, the proverbial squeezing your stick, everything that goes with the players not scoring, you got to convince the players that they're going to get the results, but they got to stay with it. So now they get the results. So now Chris Knobloch has done the first part of convincing them that what they were doing was right. Now the players have been able to get that confidence. Now the players got results. And again, they're too good. We're not talking about players that are trying to find their way in the NHL. We're not talking about players that are just trying to see if they can score in the NHL. We're talking about premier offensive players that have done it and done it for a long period of time. I think it's at these moments in time, and I love what Ray Ferraro had said in the past, and I quote him regularly. Ray Ferraro said when he was scoring, he never thought he would stop scoring. And he said when he went into droughts, he said he never thought he would score again. And I think for a coach, it's about, okay, are there things you're not doing? Like a couple of years ago, I remember John Tavares wasn't scoring. And we were doing a breakdown. I said, all he's got to do is hit the net. He's missing the net. Sure enough, he starts hitting the net. He starts scoring again. There's going to be times when you got to just remind a player what he does well. And I think for the Edmonton Oilers, I think that the results pouring in like they did is enough for this team to keep rolling along offensively, Matt. And I think that everything that, the fears about, okay, are they going to go and drop? I don't have that fear because I just think their process has been so strong.
All that said, Craig, 2-5-1 on home ice this season. It is a team that we've always said, gets up for that big one. We saw last week against Vegas, albeit losing it late, but played very hard in that one. Of course, Saturday night, hockey night in Canada Division, all of those things said. But now you got an Islanders team coming in here on a Tuesday after a long weekend. It's kind of got that feel. What do they have to worry about, if at all anything? Maybe it's always their own game that people say they should worry about. But what can you tell us about this Islanders team that we really don't see too much of out here in the West?
Well, the Islanders can't score. Yeah. I mean, they play a tight defensive game. They can't score. They don't have very much offensive punch. Matt Barzal's out, who gives them some of that offensive ability and capability. But they're not. But when you watch the New York Islanders play, they play good. They play disciplined. So they don't beat themselves. But the problem for the New York Islanders is they don't have enough when another team, Edmonton Oilers in this case, play to their strengths. I don't think the Islanders have enough to beat them. You can play structured and disciplined and not beat yourself, till the end of time. But you need people and players that can put the puck in the net and take advantage. And Islanders don't have it. So what I would say is if the Edmonton Oilers go out and they play, like the Oilers just play like, here's how we're going to come at you. Here's how we're going to play. We're not going to do anything silly. We're not going to try to do things that are going to give them an opportunity to get a hold of the game. There should be a W and 2 points for the Edmonton Oilers, in my view.
On Saturday,
not getting 2 points against the Islanders, that's a fail. That's a fail if they don't get 2 points against the Islanders.
On Saturday, Skinner had a pretty good game, lets in a later goal, and he's frustrated at the end of that game. What's your takeaway of seeing Stuart Skinner after a 7-3 win being that frustrated?
Well, I think Stuart, he's trying to get his game back to the level that we saw him get to last year and certainly in the playoffs. And I think that when you're working, and the Oilers team has done that. Stuart has been doing that. And then you kind of let that go, and it's kind of like, oh, geez, I don't want this to, creep back into my game. I want to be sharp. So I think it's a good sign because I think it's not like, oh, well, whatever. It was a goal late. It doesn't really matter. I think it speaks to Stuart's competitiveness and that he's zeroed in on making sure that, those goals don't go in. And I see that as really positive. From Stuart's point of view, and we're seeing those steps taken. It's November the 12th. Last year at this time, the Edmonton Oilers were in chaos. It was what's going to happen with the Edmonton Oilers, and they built and built and built. Stuart Skinner's game built and built and built, and I see progress there, and I see somebody that doesn't want to see those goals go in, and I think that's good for Stuart to be in that mindset.
TSN's Craig Button with us, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports this morning. Obviously, Oilers and Islanders tonight. GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola gets going at 6 o'clock here on EST. Just switching to last night, I was at a casino bar doing my regular Monday and Thursday NFL duties. We had the Hockey Hall of Fame inductions on, albeit without sound. What were you pulling away from last night, Craig? I know Jeremy Roenick, an emotional Roenick, one of the mini inductees, but what were you pulling away from last night's ceremonies?
Well, I mean, you're in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it represents brilliance, it represents excellence, but it also represents your personal path and who's helped you and who's been by your side over the years. And I think all the inductees talked about those people and about what Doug or Jeremy Roenick talked about. Doug Wilson talked about. I mean, Jeremy's a very outgoing, vivacious person. And, I think that the Hall of Fame, when you're elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame, nominated, it's humbling. I've never heard a young player say, my goal is to be in the Hall of Fame. The goal is to be in the NHL to win a Stanley Cup. And when you go and you play, and players that you know are going into the Hall of Fame, they're still humbled about, the call to the Hall. And I think that, to hear those stories, to hear the humility and the gratitude for being part of the game and then reaching this pinnacle of being recognized for your excellence, it's special. And everybody's got their own story and everybody tells it in a different way, but each and every one of them is special. And that's what I take away from the Hall of Fame every single year.
Looking towards next year's, who do you think would be locks for it? We were part of the first time on the ballot. Chara, Thornton, Price, Keith, Getzlav, Rask.
Just stop after the first four. Okay, stop after the
Chara,
first four.
Thornton, Price, Keith.
It's over. Okay, there's times when first-year eligible players come up and it's a cohort, and we can look at Alexander McGillivray, Keith Tkachuk, and Ryan Getzlav, who I think eventually will all be in the Hall of Fame. I think they're Hall of Famers. But unfortunately, the 2025 class has Chara, has Price, has Keith, and has Joe Thornton. To me, if there's ever a thing called automatics, they are automatics. Their level of success in the National Hockey League, their level of brilliance, everything they did amongst the best. Sorry, it's just the way it's going to have to be. Every other player not named Chara, Thornton, Price, or Keith, they're just going to have to wait another year.
Aside from the first question this morning, Craig, you also were automatic. We appreciate your time today.
Do you got a Grey Cup prediction by any chance? Winnipeg, Toronto?
Yeah, I do. I got Winnipeg all day long, all day long. I love Michael Shea. I like that team started out a little bit tough at the beginning of the year, and Michael Shea to me embodies coaching. We're going to dig in. We're going to play hard. And to me, football is won at the line of scrimmage, defensively and offensively. He has a team that's hardened. They have a bad taste in their mouth from losing last year, and I think the poor Argonauts are going to pay a price.
Love it.
A sinking boat, I'm going to call the Argos.
Ooh. We may not heard that brilliance at the start, Craig, from you, but right there, some more brilliance just right there.
Enjoy the week, man, and the Grey Cup.
I will. Thank you.
Craig Button, TSN. There you have it. I mean, look, I know you're making a case for the Argonauts earlier, but he said sinking boat.
Yes.
Sinking ship.
No, I'm going to. Look, I just want a close game. I want an entertaining Sunday.
I know. It's not going to be the case.
And if it's not, then bring me the Jonas Brothers.
Damn it! Anyways, yeah.
Bring me the Jonas Brothers.
Bring him the chili with no beans and the Jonas Brothers. That'll be your Grey Cup Sunday.
No, that's one thing I love about Grey Cup week is just asking everyone your predictions.
Well, and Grey Cup sex question.
That one didn't happen last year.
I know. That's kind of.
I think we're moving on.
Our tradition on the Nielson Show. That's another thing Dusty's missing is playing the clip. We usually at least play it once during Grey Cup week.
Okay. I just love asking all of the hockey guys too. And Craig, there's a guy that's paying attention,
putting them right on the spot.
But I love certain
right on the spot.
We missed out on Rashog this week.
He loves
Drager always had a good. Whenever we'd bring that question up with Drager, he'd always have a good take too.
He follows. Yeah.
Jeff O'Neill never cared. Didn't give a damn.
No.
Whenever we had him ask
admitted it.
Who else? Jamie, I think. Noodles.
Noodles will pick somebody.
He knows
someone. The teams. He'll say one of them.
And who do you guys? You guys got Luke this week.
Yeah,
so I'd be intrigued if Luke's got anything.
He might have a.
Got to ask Herm Edwards about it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's another thing I like is Chris Berman always gives to the 111th Grey Cup, and he'll have the whoop, give you a few whoops, and away you go, right on the
talks. And they always show the clip of the Mounties bringing out the Grey Cup too. It's
a tradition unlike any other, we'll get ours. We thank Craig Button for his time. TSN brought to you as always by Pro-Am Sports. You can check them out today. Corner St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue, or online at proamsports.ca. You can find details about private signing with Corey Perry, where you can submit your items or select from theirs on the website. Let's get to a Coolbet Canada hotline of the day right now. Mr. Lean, something lean. Coolbet, you have an EST parlay for tonight.
We got to build an EST parlay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to the Nasty Chat for some help. I'm looking to the Paris Jewelers and Bucks for help. The Edmonton Oilers tonight on Coolbet 222 on the money line, so clear favorites in this one. So I think what we have to do, like even Craig said it there, the Oilers, they have to win this. It's a failure if they don't.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Edmonton wins in regulation to get a little bit better value, I think, when it comes to picking the Oilers winning. So the Oilers win in regulation. That's minus 133.
Okay.
Where else do we go with this one, people? Where else do we go? You get those in. Oh, Zulu had already thrown Oilers in regulation. Yeah, so do we go McDavid 2+ points? We had Trev. Who are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I like the Oilers for sure. These games are actually, they're always pretty close and they're not too high scoring just looking at the last 10 games they played. So I think McDavid, he got a goal the last game. I think he's going to have some confidence going into this one. I wouldn't be surprised. McDavid goal or +2 points, I think that's fair. And I'd also, like Leon also shows up against the Islanders. He's got a pretty good record against them. So I know those are your usual suspects. If we're going off the board,
a Connor goal.
Bouchard hasn't scored in a while. So
Big boys in a tight game.
A Connor goal is +120. 2 points is +104. Do you feel more confident in 2 points or a goal?
I really think he's going to score a goal tonight. But I don't mind the 2 points as well. I don't know. I just feel like he scored one the other game. So he's like, oh, I want to score again.
Steven Robertson, Kulak anytime goal, LOL. We are not adding a Kulak goal anytime
well, you want to get a
goal.
little
We are
risky
not
here.
adding that one in here.
Labama guy says Hyman over 3.5 shots.
Zulu Day is saying Ekholm over 2.5 shots.
Get a shot in there, hey?
Okay, let's
Shot
up to. Okay, let's do Edmonton wins in regulation.
Yep.
Let's go McDavid 2+ points.
Okay.
Let's then take both the Hyman over 3.5 shots. And how's Ekholm been doing shots-wise these last few games?
I haven't noticed.
Ekholm. I'll pull it up quickly here. I just want to see, is he getting the shots on? Because I don't want to go out on the limb with an Ekholm shots. Shots. His last 5 games, 2-1, 3-1, 2. And what did he, over 2.5? 2.5 is a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if they give us like what the number would be on 1.5, if it's worth it on 1.5. So let's go with Leon goal then.
I like that.
Oilers regulation.
I like Leon goal.
If we go Oilers win in regulation, McDavid 2+ points, Leon goal, Hyman over 3.5 shots.
That's good.
That's our EST parlay. I'll send that to the boys and see what the number is.
Build it and they will...
that we could get on that. I don't really have a hotline for today. College football. That's what we've got today.
Oh,
we've got
action?
Western Michigan and Bowling Green. We got Ball State and Buffalo, and we got Central Michigan and Toledo. I don't know what conference they're all in. Is this it's Tuesdays usually Maction, right?
Like I think it's Maction.
Yeah, you can't mess with Maction.
Toledo, you say? Yeah.
So I need all of FBS. This is
Miami Ohio Maction. 4 straight.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Were they in there as well? Central Michigan has dropped 4 in a row.
Central Michigan has dropped 4 in a row?
Yeah.
How's Toledo been?
Toledo, they're on they're 6-3 overall, 3-2 in conference play.
Ball State, Buffalo. What do you got for them in there?
Ball State 3-6 overall, 2-3 in conference play. The Buffalo Bulls 5-4 overall, 3-2 in conference play. Both teams, Buffalo's 1-1 in a row, and Ball State's lost when they're coming off a loss.
I'm gonna go with Maction hotline of the day. Toledo, you had all those numbers. Huge favorites. 14.5 points is the spread. I think Central Michigan covers that.
I thought you'd take Argonauts plus 10.5.
That's not today, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just a little bit of a...
That's too soon. I'm actually on the lock shop. I'm on the lock shop on Thursday with Huss.
Okay, perfect.
So we will do full CFL
will he be
discussion.
In Vancouver?
Yeah, so I'm doing the lock shop tomorrow. It'll be myself, Pat Gregoire, and maybe Jake will be on. Because Huss has to fly out to Vancouver, and then he's going to be there Thursday, Friday. He was supposed to do the lock shop with Dusty out in Vancouver on Thursday, Friday. They were going to do it together, but that is now not going to happen. So Thursday, I will do the lock shop. So we'll have full Grey Cup coverage. The lines are up early on CoolBet. You mentioned it. 10.5 is the spread for the Bombers, over under 49.5. But there, our EST parlay. Edmonton wins in regulation. McDavid 2+ points. Leon goal. Hyman over 3.5 shots. I'll get to the boys right now.
Coolbet.com. Stay cool. Bet responsibly with our betting partners at Coolbet. 726, Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, and YouTube Trev. As Trev will probably pull up the word here momentarily. It is your key word for the EST flyaway to LA right now. Be by your phone. Once again,
Jay does that on the Reed show.
I love it.
When
They got a lot of sorts of weird clips in there. They got Homer Simpson
nice
in there.
little airplane.
A couple more times, please, during this whole thing.
You just want the airplane?
Just randomly. Throw it in there.
The airplane?
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, I got to fix that.
Whenever I say EST flying away.
Put that nice and
Like
quiet.
it. Yeah.
Be like we're by the international airport. The plane's going over every so often.
I missed the city center. That was the airport. Whenever somebody said the airport, that's what I immediately thought.
The whole battle about closing that.
December 26th to 30, we're sending you and somebody you know to the hockey, basketball, and football in LA. It's Warriors at Clippers, Cardinals at Rams, and Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim. Flights, hotel, rent-a-car, all included. It is brought to you by the 780. The 780, great local business supporting local vendors. Local shops, you can visit them at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport, or online, the word 7, numbers 80.com. The 780, working with close to 100 local vendors from this area code. And once again, great shops to get into. And just check out what they have today. You will not be disappointed. And you might find somebody for some. Christmas is coming, right? Whether it's birthdays, Christmas, or any sort of occasion, they got some wild stuff for you. And it's all local, so you know it's good. Once again, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport. So we have the word up here. Oh, this is it's a bit of a tough one. I mean, you never know how you could drop an E or something like that, but people should have this. The word today, Trev, if you want to announce it, I guess, go ahead. You got the word up there.
The word today, text in right now, is referee.
780-218-9999.
Referee.
Referee.
As in, the referee made a bad call.
How many referees do you have for tonight in the...
YouTube Trev will have one referee
Just one.
refereeing his game tonight. Referee.
Third last week to qualify.
That's crazy.
Short
Going
week
by
this
quick.
week
These
to
go by
qualify.
so quick, hey?
Next week we got full week. The week after we only got 4 days because the Friday we'll be giving it away. Maybe Dusty will be back in time for that.
That's another thing to add to the list, say that he's going to miss. He will. I mean, the way it's going, like you can just kind of mark it down in italics right now. But referee 780-218-9999, and you heard Maddie say it. The draw is coming up. Grand prize draw, November 29. Qualifying runs up until the 28th. So referee 780-218-9999. And again, the exercise now is to be by your phone. Don't turn it off. Don't do anything else. If you get a call from a number you may not recognize, pick it up, and you could be the latest qualifier. It will be us. If it's not, that'd be highly frustrating. Hello, sir. This is
It'd be a weird coincidence.
or ma'am, whatever. It would be a weird coincidence.
Like you see
You'd almost
this-
have to rush on and buy a lottery ticket after that. You'd have some sort of something would be. Referee. Inboxes filling up right now. Text it 780-218-9999. YouTube Trev will hit a sports update right now. Give one of you a call afterwards, and we'll get to that. Confessions on the way as well. In the fan zone for fans first
Fan
to
zone.
fill out hour number 2. It is the Nielsen Show at Edmonton Sports Talk. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, and YouTube Trev.
In the NHL last night, the Hurricanes won 5-2 over Vegas, which is the Golden Knights' first home loss of the season. The Avalanche had edged Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames topped the Kings 3-1. Stars smacked the Penguins 7-1. Habs over the Sabres 7-5, snapping a 6-game losing streak. Flyers get past the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout, all thanks to Matvei Michkov. And tonight in the NHL, the Oilers open up a 2-game homestand when they host the Islanders. Join Tom Gazzola here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock following the Reed Wilkins Show. Oilers are coming off a 7-3 win in Vancouver Saturday night. The other action tonight, Canucks hosting the Flames. Jets look to make it 7 in a row when they visit the Rangers. Leafs at home to play Ottawa. Bruins visit the Blues. And the Seattle Kraken welcome in the Columbus Blue Jackets. In the NFL, the Miami Dolphins improved to 3-6 with a 23-15 victory over the LA Rams. The loss drops the Rams to 4-5 on the season. Week 11 kicks off Thursday when the Commanders visit the Eagles. And to finish things off in the association, Cavaliers are now a perfect 12-0 to start the season following a 119-113 win in Chicago. Thunder remain atop of the West with a 134-128 victory over the Clippers, and the NBA in-season tournament action tips off tonight with 8 games, including the Raptors visiting the Bucks. I'm YouTube Trev, and you're up to date. The Sports Update is brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. I'm not going to lie, I forgot to write something down here. Mitch Lewicki wanted to be a referee as a kid. I don't know.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Gadget can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat us the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macarona, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about the game in person, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:34, you are tuned into the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and on YouTube as we continue to approach 200 likes. Hit the thumbs up button today. Give us a like. Hit the sub as well. It only helps us, but it helps you keeping up to date on everything that EST do. And that continues later on tonight, 6 o'clock, GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows with Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, and crew. That'll be immediately following the Reed Wilkins Show, which runs 3 to 6 today. Here on EST. Your next chance to qualify as well for the EST Flyway to LA will be coming up next on the Hangout, 9 to 11 with Matt Iwanyk, Dean Belanger, and
Don Ellis.
Don Ellis will be in.
Does a lot with Kid Sport, Contemporary Interior, the office.
A lot of our
Contemporary
things
office
here.
Interiors. I think I got that.
Brought to you by Don Ellis. So we thank him for that. But that'll be your next chance to
Contemporary
qualify.
Office Interiors, sorry.
Contemporary Office Interiors. Contemporary Office Interiors.
Yeah, I gotta
Contemporary Office Interiors.
Love chatting with those boys.
Yeah, it'll be a good Tuesday hangout, the 3 of you here. But your next chance to qualify will be between 9 and 11 later this morning and throughout the day on all of the shows here on EST. The Nielsen Show is presented and brought to you by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Check out the team. Daniel and his family-friendly team, Southport Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan. Tell them EST sent you, or check them out online, www.southportchev.com. Time for confessions. If you have any confessions, get them in. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. This segment has been birthed out of fantasy confessions. But if you have any life confessions as well from the long weekend, feel free to get them in via the inbox or the nasty chat as well. And in this time, Trevor will call somebody for the keyword. But Maddie, I just wanted a bit of an update during confessions, which is brought to you, as I should mention, by Spectrum Rental. They confess it feels like the week has barely begun, but is flying by at an incredible rate. Have Spectrum Rental consult with you regarding your construction sites heading needs. An update on the Spite League. Dusty calls it the Spite League because he's playing in Spite. What's the league actually called, though? I mean, just to give it
Rusty
more...
Truck Fantasy Football League.
Thank you very much. Let's get a little official here.
The Rusty Truck Fantasy Football League. There's 16 teams in this league.
Big league.
5 team keepers, so it's a very difficult league to win. Dusty with a weaker week, only scoring 82 points, if I'm looking at this correctly.
Wow.
Of the 16 teams, he's bottom 5, I think, of scoring points this week.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, it's a bottom 6. So he's bottom half of the league when it comes to points, but he pulls off a victory.
This week he pull
off victory against the Commish.
Defense wins championships.
The Commish. The battle against the Commish. 82-57. Dusty pulls this off. The Commish. Who's his backup? Oh, he's got Jordan Love as his starting quarterback. He played Cooper Rush as his quarterback this week. The Commish. Minus 3 points.
Now, is Dusty riding high off the Thursday Ravens-Bengals affair? Was he one of those people that benefited the most and had his feet up?
No, that helped me.
That was you.
So I won mine in a tight one, 97-96. It was Cooper Kupp versus Tyreek Hill yesterday.
Oh.
So when Hill scored that touchdown, I fell behind, and I was very worried. And then Kupp caught some passes. I took the lead, but I thought it might end in a tie, and then I was going to win because the tiebreaker goes to, I think, the highest scoring. The team has the highest scoring player, and Joe Burrow was that for me last night, 37 points. So I pulled off a victory. I was the 3rd highest scoring team this week in the league. So I improved to 6-4. I've had some tough losses in there. Dusty is now 8-2. But how am I second in my division? I don't get our tiebreaker.
The points. What's your points for? Points against? Or,
okay. So I must be leading the division. Otherwise, I have to go look at the stats or the rules a little closer.
So now you have some spite. Is it you're going to be playing under protest?
I'm 6-4, and I'm in the same division as the Commish. He's 6-4, and then it's 5-5 and 4-6.
Yes.
So there's 2 of us at 6-4. Myself and the Commish. We've played each other once this year. I beat him. I also have more points scored. So I don't know what the tiebreaker would be unless, and even if maybe it's a divisional thing, but even in divisional thing, I'm 2-1 in my division. He'd be at least 2-1 in his division. So I don't know what the tiebreaker would be. Why the hell am I second and not first? I got to go look at the rules of this.
You confess that you're up to date on the Rusty Truck Fantasy League rules right now, I guess, in terms of division tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, playoffs.
It's nice that you're tight. It's good for the viewer and the listener to kind of, experience this, neck and neck stuff. Like you don't want a runaway thing. It's a good.
Well, I do because you get a bye week.
Well,
I
you
really
want
need the
it,
bye
but it's
week.
good for the
Dusty
good
needs
for the neutral.
bye week.
Dusty needs the bye week.
He's got a 2-game lead for his division, so he's sitting pretty good. I helped him actually. I beat a team that was chasing him.
Oh,
Had
wow.
I lost this past week, and he'd only be up by 1. If Dusty goes to week 14, which is the first week of the playoffs, he has a bunch of players on bye, and he's screwed.
Anybody riding your pine this weekend that you'd like to confess that you didn't start that you should have, which maybe would have made the win a little easier for you? No, you had
my
full
bench is
hands to the pump.
He's either hurt or weak. So
you're just starters, yeah.
On my bench, I had Will Levis at 21 points, but Joe Burrow scored 37.
Yeah,
so I played the right one.
Hard to debate there.
Would have anyone else? The only other thing is, I don't have anything that I'd be upset about. No, I played the right kicker.
So you're almost confessing that you hit it out of the park.
I hit it out of the park.
That's Maddie.
Hit it out of the park. Oh my God. Sorry, I just got an email saying interview opportunity. Former CFL Commissioner Mark Cohen. We could interview him on his new role with the Northern Super League. He's joined the board of directors of the Northern Super League.
I'd like to confess I miss him as a commish.
I do too.
Those were fun days. Those are confessions. Spectrum Rental, once again, Spectrum Rental, where they confess it feels like the week has barely begun, but it's flying by at an incredible rate. You can check them out today. Have Spectrum Rental consult with you regarding your construction needs. Trev, did you have any sort of confession? If you don't, that's okay, and we can move on. I know you had the week off. You probably got up to some weird and wild things. No?
Do you have any confession? Because I actually have one, a different one.
Yeah, by all means, if it's a real life confession, go ahead.
I'm out of shape. I went for the run for the first time in a long time
You're
yesterday.
looking great.
And, cardio-wise, I am out of shape.
Yeah, the breath.
And I was, hurting from, I need to build up. I like my 5Ks. I couldn't do my full 5K yet. I got to build up to doing a proper 5K again.
Yep.
And I did just a hard 2. And it took me down a little bit.
You sprint the whole time?
I go at a fast pace. Where would I like to be a fast pace? But it's not at all close to the level I'm used to.
Do you take short steps or do you really long strides? Are you a strider?
My thing says
galloper?
I think I have short strides.
Yeah.
I could pull that up.
There's so many different ways of slicing it, right? A run.
Yep.
Like you can do a run.
I need to. I haven't ran in like a year and a half on a good consistent basis, so I got to get back to doing it. I got to just try to go 2-3 times a week. My goal is to like. I love running in the River Valley.
Sure.
My goal is finish work here, drive down to the River Valley, go for a run, drive home.
You can do that.
But
That's
achievable.
I was very disappointed with just how much I was like breathing hard and stuff through this short little run. I'm just looking to see if I have my.
Well, you are in 2 packs a day
My
now, I think, right? Isn't that what
strides-
your count is?
My strides were, I think, closer to the low end. So I was good there. So I need to work on that. I need to be better. But my confession is I'm out of shape.
Han Shorkov says, built like an Ethiopian and can't run? 2 question marks. Yeah,
I can do the short distance. Like
It's about that
I could go to
lung-
Remax and still outrun anyone here.
lung capacity.
That short one.
Give me a break. You don't want to get into these waters.
sprint?
You don't
But
want to
those
get into
sprints,
these
I can do it a
waters.
little bit. But if we're gonna go start getting into that 5K, I'm not at the level I once was, and I need to improve.
And
So my
you
confession
will
is I'm
get
out of
back
shape.
there. You
I
will get back there.
That's
And
actually a good
I'm gonna say by
confession.
March.
Great Cup week, though. Yeah, by March. Okay,
By
you're giving
March.
yourself a nice head start. Trev, any confessions?
You know
like
that
to get off your
actually,
chest?
that's I don't know. I noticed that too when I was moving over the week. I was huffing and puffing, and my dad said, "He's like, boy, you're out of shape."
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna jump on that as with you, Matthew. That's a good one. I'm a little out of shape.
Well, look, if we're all doing it, yeah,
my
I'm out of
cardio's
shape. We're
bad.
all out of shape.
Well,
cardio's
who's
bad.
actually in shape,
I
right?
haven't done my physio for golf enough from the surgery.
Oh,
so I got to get back into that.
Yeah? Well, that's going to heal bad for you.
I've just got to get back to take looking after myself
I see.
a little bit more.
A little self-care. Hey?
You will do.
I got to.
I believe you.
Go get a petty in you. Start from the bottom, work your way up.
Oh wait, do we have a qualifier on the phone?
We do.
Oh, we should.
We do.
We'll get to him here. Hello, congratulations. You're the latest qualifier in the EST Flyweight LA. Can I get your name, please?
It's Hoss.
Rob?
Hoss.
Haas. Congratulations, Haas. Have you been to Los Angeles before? I'll take your silence as a no. Hoss?
What's that? I missed that.
Have you been to Los Angeles before?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
on a layover, heading on a holiday.
Oh, okay. What are you looking most forward to if you do win this trip? Is it the hockey game? Is it a little bit of the basketball with Clippers from the Intuit Dome, or is it the NFL action?
It's the basketball. I'm a big NBA fan, and I've never been to a live NBA game.
Oh, you'd love that at the
couple
Intuit
NFL
Dome.
games and
Yeah.
a few Oiler games.
Okay, Matt, is there anything you'd like to ask Haas this morning?
Who's going to win the Grey Cup?
I want Winnipeg to win, but it's going to be Toronto.
Ooh, would never expected that type of answer.
Well, look,
I love
Haas,
it.
I'm pulling for you here. Good luck, man. Once again, we'll announce the winner at the end of November here, 29th. Good luck. You can qualify as many times as you can, so go about your day and have at her.
All right, thanks, guys.
I really like that answer. Wants Winnipeg,
We're never going to get that answer.
but thinks that it's just going to be Toronto.
It's the old low tide reverse psychology thing, where it's like he wants something to happen, but he's like, well, it's not going to be.
Well, I hope he's right.
I hope he's right
I hope
too.
he's right.
Do
I
people
just love
cheer
that.
for the West, or like is it one of those things? Where are you at? 780-218-9999 or in the
Where are
nasty
you
chat.
at with that?
I always cheer for the East because I don't want the West to get more. Like you're kind of competing against the West historically, so you kind of want if you have a team in the West, you'd want.
I'm going to extend that to another question after, but I'm with you. Like to me, it's also the rivalries.
Yes.
So growing up, Double E fan, I hate Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
I
you
hate
hate them all.
Calgary.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Winnipeg's bouncing back
As
and
you
forth.
should.
BC, I had a cousin who's like cheered for BC and stuff, so I was like, there became a little extra rivalry against BC because of him. Winnipeg also, like, they were the one that was almost the least for a while there, but I don't want them to win. It was always, no, screw you. I want you guys to lose. When it comes to something like WHL, would you cheer for WHL team, though, when it goes to Memorial Cup?
Well, I think there, though, you can spread it out more because if you say you're an Edmonton Oil Kings fan, I mean, who cares if the Spokane Chiefs? Like, that's not really a,
It depends, but I'm more likely
if it's
to
within
cheer
your
on
division,
the dub.
Yeah. If it is a direct rival with you, like, you're not going to cheer the Hitmen on, I don't think.
No, I wouldn't.
Right. But you have more options.
But the dub, it's more you want to puff your chest out
It's
and
a
be
club.
like, screw you, OHL and Q.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is ours.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the CFL, no, I can't get behind that. It's the same as hockey. Like,
not that you cheer for the Alouettes or the Argos or whomever makes it out of the East.
No.
You don't cheer for them, but you just want them to not let the other Western team get a chip.
You're cheering against the team.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So it's when it comes to the Grey Cup this year, like, no offense to the Bombers, no offense to Huss and Dean Blanche.
No.
I'm just tired of them.
Tube Sock says, I always cheer for the East in the Grey Cup. I'd agree with the other Tube Socks. That brings us into the fan zone here. Let's just get into this. Fan zone for fans first. By fans, for fans, no fees. Check them out today. Get your Oilers tickets as well. www.fansfirst.ca. It's an interesting question because it can differentiate from sport to sport.
Yeah, so I missed the tickets for the Grey Cup tickets. Because then when you didn't have, do you remember those Grey Cup tickets where you pull, you have to go sell the Grey Cup?
Yeah, okay,
tickets,
yeah.
And you pull it and East is this score and West is this score.
Sure.
It's almost like a square board type thing. And so at times you'd just be cheering for the score.
I mean, yeah, and whatever. And now with betting is you can. There's lots of angles you can slice it. I mean, or you're just making chili.
Does anyone still do those Grey Cup pools? Let me know.
Fans first. Fan zone. Hampton Steve says it's all relative, boys. Compared to Dusty, you're all in fantastic shape. Maybe that's kind of the bar that we aspire to.
Yeah, but it's personal. It's personal stuff. My 5K used to be like a good 22, 23, 24 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd feel good afterwards. Wasn't the case.
T-Mac, the rugby guy, says it's lack of nose hair that affected your run. I think that would help in not, or would
Maybe
it?
breathing that cold air a little bit
Yeah,
too
you're getting
much.
a little chilled. Yeah, getting down to the lungs, not filtering it out properly. Jocelyn's watching Grey Cup for the food. Well, that's another thing. So, okay, we're not, obviously, EST not going there. Dustin Nielsen will be. Huss, we know, will be going there, Winnipeg and all that. But we had talked about it, word of the mouth. We were kind of planning, but Vancouver, it's in Vancouver. I've been talking to people. I prefer the Prairie Grey Cups. I feel it's a little more homey, a little more kitchen party, shall we say. But I guess Grey Cup plans right now. I mean, if you have any, Matt, what early on? It's early days. It is the Tuesday of the week, but never too early to plan. But I mean, again, Winnipeg and Toronto. How does that get you going? You won't be attending any parties or anything such as that. Getting wild on a Sunday night, will you, for this one?
No, well, it's because we were planning on going or trying to go as a station. We didn't have put any efforts to planning a Grey Cup party somewhere, for EST like we did with the Super Bowl. So
correct.
There's no EST event for this. I'll do it. I'll do what I did last few Grey Cups, which is what I also do most Sundays, which is just go over to my folks' place for dinner. The tradition we had years ago was Chinese food too, for some reason.
Whatever.
Last couple of years, they ordered Chinese food and we ate Chinese food during the Grey Cup. I don't know if we'll do Chinese food again this year, but I'll go to my folks' place and I'll watch the Grey Cup. And it's one of those things like this year might be a little different because of the game. It is Bills and Chiefs at 2:00 or 2:30 or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That might draw quite a bit of my attention away in the lead up.
And the Canucks are playing.
But the last couple of years, like, I was all in watching Grey Cup Saturday, the 4-hour show. Dusty's not doing it this year because he is ill, so he isn't even going to be doing that Grey Cup show. And then Sunday, whenever the pregame starts, I can't remember what time it starts. It's usually 10 o'clock or something in the morning. I watch the entire pregame coverage.
It's nice.
I don't flip over and watch anything else.
Yeah.
Like, again, this year, I might flip a little bit to go watch Chiefs-Bills because of how big of a game that is. And by the time 2:30 comes, they get into repeating some of the stuff from the pregame. But I'm to me, I don't care about anything else in sports on Grey Cup weekend. It's all that. But I will be at my folks' place, likely. You?
I have a nice set of old parlor glasses with the old logos on them that Wyatt Zeger's dad gifted me back in the day.
Right, I remember those.
So what I do for the Grey Cup now is I'll get out the glasses of the two teams going at it, and I'll set them up with the Grey Cup glass in between. I'll have and set up a bit of a, shall we say, light a few candles. I'll get out a tin of smoked oysters. It kind of, because Christmas to me is after Grey Cup.
This is when we always put up the Christmas tree. Was Grey
Absolutely.
Cup. Yeah.
After the Grey Cup, you can focus on Christmas. Maybe I'll put the lights up this weekend. I don't know. But a tin of smoked oysters. Maybe I'll go find a shrimp ring. All of those little finger foods and bites. Won't be doing chili. I did chili a few weeks back. That's kind of off the whatever. But smoked oysters, shrimp ring. I know Trev.
What's Trev? Ew.
Well, him and Dusty sampled a few last time at Christmas.
Shrimp ring? Or the oysters?
The oysters.
Oh, those are delicious.
Over too well. I might try baking them this year as well. A lot of people have sent recipes of baking. You drain out the liquid, you put a little hot sauce in there, cheese on top, and you oysters Rockefeller or whatever it is. But yeah, it's just nice. It'll be cozy. It's Sunday, and as you mentioned, Bills Chiefs isn't a bad appetizer to the whole affair. But yeah, the pregame's nice. It's just and again, to me, is once it's over, then it's Christmas, and that ushers in the season. Lots of people picking up on your Grey Cup pool. St. Albert Bowling does a massive Grey Cup pool for their league members every year. Fergie's Prostate, we do Grey Cup pools at the rugby club. So maybe if you are looking for places to go, I don't know. Fergie, is it open to the? Can you?
But is it the pull-up
Is it a party
sticker, like the tickets?
Yeah. Well, Box Pounder
the box or like the packet that you'd go and you'd pay for however many, and then you pull it and it tells you the score you get.
Box Pounder says he has Grey Cup pool tickets. They're really suspicious. They have negative numbers. So a bit of a joke there. 780-218-9999. Once again, add a hashtag FanZone to your text. This is the Fan Zone for fans first, by fans, for fans, no fees. Dudley says hashtag Dusty Who. Oh. Yeah, Dusty Nielsen's still sick. The problem is, too, it's sleeping that's the problem.
Yeah,
for the Fan Zone.
well, I'll let people know that, like, Dusty is,
give him an update.
and I know that he called the game this past weekend. I got a text from his wife, actually, that she is not seeing him this sick in ever. That's what she said to me.
Will is
on
blaming
Sunday.
Tammy for this. Hey, well, I mean, you got to start pointing fingers.
But it's like, and part of this is he just has this massive cough he can't get rid of, and with that, he's not getting sleep because it's keeping him up all night. And when you're calling football games, you're calling very short periods, and then you could shut your mic off and you could cough. For whatever
I think they call it a cough button.
There's the cough button. He could get it turned off, whatever it is. Here, he can't do that. And doing a 3 hour straight where he's just going to be coughing the entire time, you're just going to be annoyed that he's coughing the entire time. And then that's where, like, he was supposed to do the Grey Cup Saturday show, which is 4 hours at a desk, hosting, basically doing radio on TV in that sense. He pulled a pin on that one because he can't do 4 hours without having to get through all of that. So that's where Dusty is right now. I guess he's just a bag of crap.
They should do like a Matthew Shinetti 5-minute piece on Dusty
during the essay,
like that long Grey Cup pregame. I'm sure they could find it. Like Matt Shinetti can do a bit of an essay on him. Wouldn't that be something?
The West final, the gutting it out through the West semi and a final.
A recap of the prior 2 weeks of him gutting it out. I'd love that. You can hear it now, can't you?
Yeah. Just
Saturdays.
Go into that.
Fall. Sickness. No sleep. Fergie's Prostate follows up. The rugby club is open to all. So if you're looking, that's nice. It's nice to have the club open if you're looking for a little Grey Cup plans. YouTube Trev, you've got the new pad, you've got the new place, you've got the new digs, you're moved in, you're feeling good, you're cooking meals. Do you at all have a Grey Cup plan?
I think I'm going to go to a bar.
You're going
to
out?
a bar. Yeah, I'm going to go out. See.
What's your local there? Have you kind of taken that?
You're right on White. So
Well,
like
that's
you
the
got
thing.
you got the entire app to choose from.
That is true. I will have to walk to White because I am right off White, if you didn't know. And so it will be a little bit of a longer walk because I apparently am not as close as I originally thought. I wanted to test it. That's one thing I did do. Yeah, that's confessions. Going back to confessions, I went for a drive and it was a little bit down yonder. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was like a block off White. That is not correct. So, but I'm new to the city, right? I'm still figuring it out. It was a very hectic day. I didn't really know where I was. 1 second I was on White. 1 second I was at the place I'm living at right now. So I thought I was right off White. So that'll probably be the destination. Maybe Hudson's on White.
I looked at it. I know one of the bars that's near your place, and I did just a Google Maps to Hudson's on White, and it says it's a 2 hour, 16-minute walk.
Hey.
Okay, so that's not really right.
How long have you
White.
run? So that's like you can chop that down to.
Yeah, what's the
2
K?
hours.
Does it say the kilometers on there? What is that, like 8 10K?
Well, the walk that they have is a 10-kilometer walk.
10-kilometer walk.
So that's an hour run.
Yeah, right around I could run that.
Run
in an hour.
there, have a couple drinks,
right?
refresh, and then run back.
10 kilometers, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's I don't know what I was thinking that day, but yeah,
Because you're
that'll
far
be the
away
plan.
from your old local of BP's.
This is
I mean,
correct.
that's
This is
done with
correct.
now. Hey, the new day.
Yeah,
Join Gager at that bar.
yeah. I think I
bend.
might have to do that. I would
Sit at the
love
wood.
to join Gager. Gager, if you're listening, I would love that. And I don't know if you would, but I would.
Maybe you can ask him when he joins the show later on today at 8:30.
be very
he said
nice.
he wanted to go for drinks with you the one time.
Well, there you go.
Okay, well,
You were
yeah.
so excited.
Yeah, I was excited. Yes, I am still excited. I'd love that. That'd be so much fun.
Rob from the Grove says just off White, LOL. We're all off White. I mean, really, when you think of it,
I'm basically at the airport.
In perspective.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
your rationale behind it was that you drove on White to get there, and it was like,
I did. That's what I was on White.
we're at Rogers Place because I drove by Rogers to get here today.
George Conlon asks, Maddie, are you talking about pull and pay or Grey Cup pool tickets?
The what?
Well, when you're it's those tabs that you're ripping off, right? People sell them.
There was like
you
a
go
little
to co-op
book
and buy them or something like that.
And you'd, as a kid, it was a fundraiser. You'd walk around, you'd sell it, and you'd be like $1 a ticket or whatever. And then when you get it, you'd rip out the ticket, and what was hidden was the score. So it'd say like East 20, West 23. And if the West won 23-20, you won the prize. Or and it was by quarter. So if it was if it was that score after the first quarter, you won a certain amount. If it's halftime, third quarter, final game, you won a certain amount of money.
Big Maple says, I'm still waiting for Dusty to fall from the ceiling and appear on my camera any moment, just like Sting from WCW. Wouldn't that be something? Ain't going to happen. But he will be back soon. We wish him well for the fan zone. Well, no, but I mean, again, like Trevor Off-White, soon. Eventually. Soon will come. Are you saying he won't come back, like, at all?
Well, I'm putting him on the LTIR.
You can't do that.
He was on IR, but I think
it's just IR.
I think
we're not talking March
for
here.
cap perspectives, I think retroactively we're placing him on LTIR.
March? February?
No, the LT. You could always pull like what is hockey?
I know, but that's kind of what
like
we're
3
thinking.
weeks.
That's where the mind jumps to.
No, hockey's like 3 weeks or something. So we're retroactively placing him on IR from 3 weeks ago.
I think IR would be good enough.
No, he's placed on LT.
For not getting sleep.
We need the cap.
You should try sleeping sitting up.
We need the cap.
That's
benefits.
what you should try. Has anybody suggested that?
EST's looking for the cap.
You sit up in a chair and you just kind of go to bed like an old man with a blanket over his legs. Survey Brett says Trev's got a place on White. Well, it's a couple minutes from White Avenue, Roberta Ann style. That's a sly text there with Roberta Ann Jags fan. Hop, skip, and a jump away, Zulu says. That's just it. That's the Fan Zone for fans first.
Zone.
By fans, for fans, no fees. Check them out today, fansfirst.ca. Oilers tickets all season long up there. I know a lot of you nasties have used that service, taken advantage of it, and it served you well. So www.fansfirst.ca. This was the Fan Zone. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, YouTube Trev, Dustin Nielsen still on the LTIR. I guess we've been officially placed on there today. So that's the transaction.
Retroactively. Again, retroactively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kind of easy trivia coming up. Matt Iwanyk's got the questions for this wall one-liners, I think no more than 5 words long for most of them. So we'll be getting to that coming up next from Mr. Mike's. If you want to play trivia today, please text in 780-218-9999. I want to play, and we will pick one of you and get you on the air next. You're playing for Mr. Mike's. We'll be sending there, I assume, coming up just after 8. 3 questions too many as well. If you've got any questions for Trev's new place or Matty Iwanyk specifically, as he makes his not debut on the Nielsen Show. I guess with you and
twice.
I. Yeah, right.
Twice.
This is weird.
This is my first co-hosting.
Okay. So you usually sit here?
No, I still sit here.
Yeah, sit there. Okay.
It's got the board.
Yeah. So any questions for Matt or Trev, feel free to get them in as well. 780-218-9999. We'll hit an orange and blue breakfast, GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Gazzola and Hernan coming up later today. Coverage beginning at 6. And Joaquin Gage at around 8:30 as well. We'll get his thoughts on the Oilers win in Vancouver, tonight's game against the Islanders, and some Formula One news as well. Aston Martin, I think, getting a Mercedes power. There's also Ferrari thinks a lot of teams are some teams are gonna not care about next year because of wind rules. Big Maple does say, I firmly believe Dusty can turn around by American Thanksgiving. He has to, or else it's all lost. That's the marker.
Will be gone.
That's the marker. The wrap for William Huff as well. That's all coming up in hour number 3. This is the Nielsen Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
In the NHL last night, the Hurricanes won 5-2 over Vegas, which is the Golden Knights' first home loss of the season. The Avalanche edged Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames topped the Kings 3-1. Stars smacked the Penguins 7-1. Habs over the Sabres 7-5, snapping a 6-game losing streak. Flyers get past the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout, all thanks to Matvei Michkov. And tonight in the NHL, the Oilers open a 2-game homestand when they host the Islanders. Join Tom Gazzola here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock following the Reed Wilkins Show. Oilers are coming off a 7-3 win in Vancouver on Saturday night. Other action tonight, Canucks hosting the Flames. Jets look to make it 7 in a row when they visit the Rangers. Leafs at home to play Ottawa. Bruins visit the Blues. And the Seattle Kraken welcome the Columbus Blue Jackets. In the NFL, the Miami Dolphins improved to 3-6 with a 23-15 victory over the LA Rams. The loss drops the Rams to 4-5 on the season. Week 11 kicks off Thursday when the Commanders visit the Eagles. And to finish things off in the association, Cavaliers are now a perfect 12-0 to start the season following a 119-113 win in Chicago. Thunder remain atop of the West with a 134-128 victory over the Clippers. And the NBA in-season tournament action tips off tonight with 8 games, including the Raptors visiting the Bucks. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they're an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728.
Got a big shot off this stick of mine. I keep those lanes wide open all the time. Drysidle setting up shop, McDavid's flying. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line. As sure as new G is slick and Kane is tough. We're going all the way this year, enough is enough. And we can play 'em straight or we can play 'em rough. I'm feeling fine when I walk the line. You know I shoot that puck so very, very hard. The name on the back of my jersey says Bouchard. And we're gunning for first place, not a wild card. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line. Well, we're counting on our skill and not on luck. And it's gonna get real when they drop that puck. And we won't be done until we hoist the cup. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line. I got a big shot off this stick of mine. I keep those lanes wide open all the time. Drysidle setting up shop, McDavid's flying. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line.
This is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and as well on YouTube. The pursuit of 200 likes continues. We are inching ever closer there. If you are watching this morning, hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to keep up with everything EST. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, YouTube Trev, producing today's show. Dustin Nielsen still off. We have placed him on the LTIR retroactively.
Yep. Cat purposes.
Yeah, and what's the status like until further notice to be determined?
I had until further notice last week.
Yeah. We got to kind of change that up a bit, but
well, that's where he's now on LTIR.
So that's just it.
He's on long-term injured reserve, retroactively from a few weeks ago, so we could call him off when we need to.
Period. Full stop.
Yeah. Okay. Saving some cap money. We're looking maybe at some call-ups. Maybe we can make a trade. Maybe there's a trade that we could add to fit in the cap.
The phones are open, but not anymore, as YouTube Trev has found somebody for kind of easy trivia. We'll get to that in a second. Once again, 3 questions too many coming up. We'll get you set for Oilers and Islanders. An orange and blue breakfast is on the way ahead of Joaquin Gage and the wrap for William Huff as the Nielsen Show flies on like a freight train. As you mentioned, the show does speed by
Goes
pretty
by
quick. Good morning to you, and once again on a shortened week as well. Nielson Show presented as always by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Check them out today, www.southportchev.com. Kind of easy trivia right now. Courtesy Matthew Iwanyk. He's got the questions, so you know it'll be easy. You need 3 out of 5. You can let the festivities begin today. You're invited to Mr. Mike's Fiesta Fusion. Celebrate the flavors of their new Mexican and Spanish-inspired features like patatas bravas, the Fusion Feast platter, chili lime ribeye feature drinks, and more. Plus $1 from every feature entree sold will help nourish a hungry child through a local breakfast program in this community. Join the Fiesta Fusion at your local Mr. Mike's today. Eat locally, enjoy casually. Trev, who do we got today playing?
This is La Bamba Guy.
La Bamba Guy.
Yes.
How you doing, man? Have you played before?
I have, yeah.
What's your record? Do you know offhand?
2-0.
2-0. Looking to remain
No pressure.
undefeated. I like your chances today. You know how it goes then. We'll start the ticker after Maddie reads the first question. You need 3 out of 5. Good luck.
Thank you.
Who won the Monday Nighter in the NFL yesterday?
Oh, pass.
Who did the Oilers beat on Saturday?
Canucks.
Who did the Oilers play today?
Islanders.
Name one team in this year's Grey Cup.
Toronto.
What's my name?
Maddie.
Did it.
4 to 5. He's off to Mr. Mike's. Woo!
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry? My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
I said I think the first one could go wrong. But then the 4 after easily can rattle them off 4 for 5.
Yeah.
The hesitation on who did the Oilers beat on Saturday.
That's what stuck out to you, eh? I thought it was just a delay. But then he answered the next one real quick, so it couldn't have been a delay. Yeah.
So I was worried that we're going to run out of time. That's what then I got into a fear of. It's like, oh boy, is he going to stumble on the Grey Cup question?
You had and that could have been it. As we all know, everybody likes to kind of, show off by not knowing what's going on in the CFL half the time. The fifth question I found was rather nice as well. A bit of an assist, a bit of a, you want to get them halfway to Mr. Mike.
Yeah, and I'm not Dusty. Dusty's not here.
Yeah, you're not Will.
I'm not Will.
Who directed
usually not
Encino
here.
Man.
He went with that whole, what was he had the Noah one last time.
It's always a theme,
Theme on that
Will
one.
Fraser back tomorrow through Friday and Monday as well.
The fifth one it should be a nice easy one. Nice easy one.
I hear you,
Get you
man.
over the line.
And again, he can be forgiven for not knowing question 1 because it was a low event, Monday nighter, really, like a bit of a stinker.
Yeah, and look, for many people a day off, so I could see maybe we're doing other things. Maybe
Absolutely.
Didn't throw on the Monday night or whatever it is. I get that. So that's where it was like the Oilers. I knew those 2 were going to happen, and my name, it should have been 3 out of 5, easy. But you had to get to what's my name and the hesitation on number 2.
That
hesitation scared me.
You're calling in the fan card there.
Scared me, La Bamba guy. Scared me.
Derek Rebel in the Nasty Chat. Hope Dusty's nearing a return. Have been appreciating everyone's efforts filling in. The shows have been great, and we thank you for those words, Derek. It has been all hands on the pump. And a lot of other people filling in throughout the day as well, as Dustin Nielsen is on a variety of shows. I think Reed Wilkins in today for 2 guys and a goalie, correct? Or is that...
No, it's... So I've got the hangout still like usual. Dean Belanger, Don Ellis in today.
Tommy down at the rink?
Tommy's at the rink, so CFL, NHL discussion. Lock Shop will be the 3 boys. Huss with the 2 boys from Coolbat, Jake and Pat. 2 guys in a goalie will be Reed with the boys, Gager and Cass. ESD Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel Illustrated pregame shows at 6 o'clock plus postgame show later tonight. Tomorrow, I've got Lock Shop with Patty. Jay's going to do Oil Stream with Tommy. Thursday, myself and Huss are on Lock Shop. I think it's Reed back on with 2 guys. And then Friday, Hernan and Tommy do Lock Shop or Oil Stream, and it's the Cool Bet Boys with Huss.
You should almost be filling in for Dusty on the TSN panel there.
I would enjoy the hell out of that.
Absolutely, you would.
That's one of my biggest annoyances of the old place.
Are they going to bring that old desk as well? Is that what's going to be used?
Still sitting there. 1 year, Dusty and I, this was the Regina Grey Cup a couple years ago. They weren't going to do a radio call. They weren't going to have a radio version of the game because they look for, they have no Bell stations to call
Who
it.
listens to the radio?
So Dusty and I went up to our boss and said, hey, we'll do it for free. Dusty's already going with TSN. He's not doing anything else, so he could call the game. I could host it, pre-post game coverage. I could do all the technical stuff. I'm quite good with the technical stuff with those things. I will just stay in Dusty's room, so there's no hotel to need to be paid for, and like I'll drive there or something. Like I will cover my own costs of getting to Regina, getting back. We will provide the TSN stations in this country a radio broadcast that's not just the TV.
Free of charge.
And for me, it was a chance to do a national broadcast. I've never done one of those, and it would have been cool. And they said no. Our boss said no.
And they said no.
A free
All
broadcast.
of that stuff being offered, everything on the table.
Was no. So, no. But I would love to do like something at Grey Cup, actually work it. But
Loomis says, I don't think Dustin ever existed. This is some huge gaslighting experiment. He goes on rewriting history. It was actually LT with a Muppet for years. Spency 5 cents. He says, Dusty retroactively using all his sick days for the next 4 years. That's an HR daddy thing there. Is Will doing any mornings this week? Penner's Pancakes. Yes, he will. He'll be in tomorrow through Friday, and then Grey Cup Monday as well, following Grey Cup Sunday with myself and YouTube Trev. And as mentioned, he invited me out for supper, and I think my wife and I will take him up on that for Friday. Which
I like the idea of gaslighting and like getting William Huff to rename, change the thing to the Lieutenant Eric show with Will Fraser.
Yeah.
And be like, there was no Dusty. There never was a Dusty.
Who are you talking about? Never heard of him. 3 questions too many right now, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where they've really appreciated the new employee over the past couple of weeks, Justin Nielsen. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Check them out today, parkmazda.ca, or go see Mitch out in Park Mazda out in Sherwood Park, and tell him EST sent you. He could sell a car. Hey, you'd buy a car. I think he'd do well at a car dealership. He'd fit right in with those salesmen.
He's so relatable.
The sales pit. Well, that's what it is.
You would go because you never buy a car off somebody you don't like.
No,
because you walk away.
I couldn't do it. That's why I said because I'd either be too honest and say I don't think And
but Dusty would be just so relatable, and you just have a good time with him. And yeah, let's get this car.
Talking fantasy and sports and all that stuff, but. ParkMazda.ca. Social media accounts. Maddie, you've got them? Let's hear them.
At Matthew Iwanyk on Twitter. X, whatever. I'm debating Blue Sky.
You want to get on it? That's bluesky.something.com.
Yeah.
It's kind of... it looks like the original Twitter, actually, the layout, hey?
Yeah, there was somebody that said the EST needs to get one, and I've been contemplating that because I know there's a lot of people that are going over there. But also, I don't feel like I feel like when I always felt like when I was done with Twitter, I'm done. I don't want to post anymore.
It'd be refreshing.
I don't want to do anything. So it's like I also am sitting there be like, do I really need that account? But so just at Matthew Iwanyk on Twitter. If you find me on any other socials, they are mine likely. I just don't do anything on them.
I'm looking on X right now. Grant McCaig says, I see bluer skies ahead. You can find me on Blue Sky here. And people are doing it. People are making the jump. And you can do whatever. You can have another. It's just having another. Yeah, exactly. You can. Hell, you can. You haven't done the threads thing yet.
I have it.
Yeah, but
I just don't use it.
Dormant. It's just lying there. Yeah,
that's the same. Like it's like
one of these days.
Should I just go get it just to have it for now?
Why not? Yeah.
I don't know if I'll use it.
Even Walter Owens Gramp. Everybody's. You remember that?
Oh,
account?
do they have?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's out back. Okay. So and Instagram, you said too. Did you mention that?
Well, I said if you find it, like I'm not.
You don't use it.
I've had some people like DM me or message me.
Just memes. Yeah.
It's one of those. I might not see your DM for like 7 days. So apologies if I don't get to you.
Big Slam Nasty says, I deleted my Twitter a few months ago. Best decision ever. Loomis says, Blue Sky is nice. So there you have it. YouTube Trev as well. You have a few socials. You'd care to get out there right now in the public square?
Yes, you can follow me at YouTube_Trev on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest cool things in my world. You don't want to miss out.
Keep it up to date.
Is walk to and from White Ave every night.
Yep.
All 3 hours or whatever.
Yep.
Dusty is Rick Pinter. Rick Pinter is Dusty. Have they ever been in the same room together? Martin inquires. Andrea says, so many people jumping from Twitter to Blue Sky. I didn't know the migration was... You don't need to jump, really. You can just... Why do you need why have one video game console? We can have them all, right? And just...
I was worried about Blue Sky because Jake Dorsey.
Jack Doherty? Oh, my gosh.
No, the former owner of Twitter.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
He was like part of it. I didn't want to be part of his because I'm already on Twitter.
Yeah.
He left Twitter and I was like, but he's off their board. So now I'm a little more.
But it is always good to get that handle, right?
Well,
you want to
that's
be
part
in
of
there
it.
first, and you miss. I want to be my name. I want to be Kevin.
Now, at the same time, I don't really have
Kevin's
to worry about that with my last name.
Sure. Yeah.
But like a YouTube Trevor or something, possibly. Like, I think somebody had YouTube Trevor, so you had to put the underscore in there.
Exactly. That's
unfortunately.
So it's like, do you jump on that just to have it? Whether I'm using it or not, I don't know.
Question number 1, boys. Who wins the NBA Cup? Now,
sponsored. Can you get the sponsor correct?
The
please?
Emirates
Thank
NBA
you.
Cup. As it is not the in-season tournament. I brought up with you, Maddie, again, the Lakers winning the in-season tournament. That's going to read something different on the banner as opposed to when you win the Emirates NBA Cup. You could have 2 of those banners hanging side by side in the Crypto.com bowl or wherever they play there, and it'll be a beautiful thing.
So here are the groups. I'll rattle through them quickly. You have to be top of your group to advance to the knockout, and then if you're second, you have a possibility to move on. So you got to be top 2 at least in your group. Knicks, Magic, 76ers, Nets, Hornets. That should be the Knicks easily. Bucks, Pacers, Heat, Raptors, Pistons. You got Celtics, Cavs, Bulls, Hawks, Wizards. The East is trash anyways. Have you looked at their standings?
Well, the Cavaliers are kind of...
There's like 2 or 3 teams at the
darlings
top.
of the East,
The
yeah.
East is like, their records in the East are trash.
Yeah.
Out West, Timberwolves, Clippers, Kings, Rockets, Trailblazers. You got Thunder, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, Spurs in the group of death. Nuggets, Mavericks, Pelicans, Warriors, Grizzlies. I don't like anyone in the group B winning from the West. I think whoever comes out of the group of death will be tired, and they won't be able to go get this done. You want to know something? I'm going to go with the Cavs. They've got this hot start. They're doing really well. They'll keep it going through the NBA Cup, and then they're going to go finish it off. And they'll have that bring a title to Cleveland. That's
the
not
cup,
brought
not
by
the NBA title.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a cup.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the trophy. They'll bring the trophy to Cleveland, and it'll be their first trophy without LeBron James.
You can go up at coolbet.com as well. They do have NBA in-season or NBA Cup brought to you by the Emirates. Odds are up for tonight's slate. Raptors plus 7.5 against the Bucks. And of course, is the group of death tonight too? Like a few games from that, or none of them played tonight?
Yeah, no, it's tonight. What do we have tonight in the group of death? You've got Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz out in Utah.
Love it. So
at the
Jazz,
Delta Center, home of the hockey club.
Suns -4 in that one as well. So cool bet you can have a little fun with the NBA
Who
Cup.
do you have?
Who do I have winning the NBA Cup? Well, let's go back to that group of death, please, once more. I'd like to see, just because NBA Cup. I love that it's called the NBA Cup. I cannot wait till the NHL Cup. Boy, are we going to have fun with that. Give me the Denver Nuggets. West Group C. They reside with the Mavericks, Warriors, Grizzlies, and Pelicans. I'll take the Denver Nuggets to be your NBA Cup, inaugural NBA Cup champions.
They're in the East. There's only 2 teams above 500. One team's at 500. Everyone else is below 500.
And you're talking regular season.
Regular
standings.
season.
Yeah, but that's not cup play.
But it doesn't even matter to that. But that's how bad the East is right now.
Yeah.
You have 5 and 6 Orlando Magic, 5 and 6 Brooklyn Nets sitting 4th and 5th in the conference.
Trev, you like anybody in the NBA Cup? Pick a team, any team.
I'm going to ride with OKC. I like the
OKC?
Thunder. First in the West.
The Thunder.
I really like Alexander. And then Chet Holmgren, he's had a pretty solid second year. So I'm going to go with them.
780-218-9999. Who do you like in the NBA Cup or in the nasty chat? We are so close to changing 200. Are we get 193? That's disrespectful. Most looking forward to Glue Guy whining about the courts. Comes in from Rip City Step. Does he hate the courts? I like
think
him.
so.
Yeah, but why hate?
I think they've changed the courts too a little bit again.
Is it's too much on the eye? Like it's just
There was a lot happening last year.
Yeah. I can dig that, but college ball does it too. Do they not from time to time? Like it's not to the extent of
No,
maybe-
I actually missed that from March Madness when they used to in the first couple of rounds use the court of the team that they were playing at, like whoever was hosting. They keep the court there, so like they'd be in like playing the first round in New Mexico, and you'd have Albuquerque State on the floor. I loved that before they went to generic NCAA. Here's what they look like. So they're still pretty.
I love
still
them.
pretty flashy.
Yeah. Seeing them all at once is kind of looks like a bunch of Canadian money.
The Raptors play on a purple court this year.
I like their retro purple look. Bring it back. Dave says, grab the blue sky before someone else does. Yeah. Changing 200. There we go.
Changing 200.
VR Montenegro's got the Spurs winning the NBA Cup in the nasty chat as well.
Coming out of the
step
grip
all
of
over it.
death.
Yeah, out of the. Oh well. Question number 2 is a topic brought up last night at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. You can join me there for every Monday and Thursday night evening in the NFL throughout the regular season. But when it comes to I guess that's the term, conspiracy theories. And I'm talking about, like, I'm not talking election stuff or whatever, but like Bigfoot, aliens, that type of thing. Even ghosts, paranormal activity. Dustin with Y and I were all about it. Jay and Jocelyn were getting educated to the max last night. But we're having a good, like, talk around while the Dolphins and Rams game was kind of going on. But if you were to believe in one thing, what would you, now again, if you're a skeptic and you're like, nope, this is it. This is a knife is a knife, and that's it. What's one thing you lean towards? I think we've had this conversation with YouTube Trev before, and I think it's the monster with the larger feet, perhaps.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, you subscribe to this theory, correct?
Yes, he is a thing.
Yeah,
he is real. It is real.
Hands down.
I've heard it.
Are you a Loch Ness Monster guy? Is there one
so
thing?
We do it like, well,
the Anunnaki, the Sumerian texts.
We're talking about different...
Anything like that.
Because I have like conspiracy words. Like Patrick Ewing was a conspiracy. That was a frozen card in the bowl. 100%. David Stern rigged that for the Knicks. I stand by that.
Not that type of like...
I have a thing with chapstick. I think chapstick is designed... Have you heard the theory of chapstick?
Lay it on me, because I just
told this to my
it.
dad because you told that to me, and I believe
it's there to relieve your dryness, but it's also there to dry you out, so you have to keep using chapstick, and you have to keep using lip balm and stuff. That lip balm, like the people that's why people are all addicted to lip balm, is that you keep using it, but it keeps drying you out. So it gives you the immediate relief,
coming back
but
for
long
more.
term, it dries it out a little quicker, so you have to keep buying more. And that's where I stand by that there's that conspiracy. If you're going to like things that are, I don't believe in Loch Ness.
Spirits. You're a spirit guy?
I'm not a ghost person. I don't believe in spirits.
You've seen a UFO.
This actually came up a little bit this weekend. I do kind of subscribe to simulation a little bit at times. Or like, maybe not simulation as much as there are alternate worlds. We're living this version of this world. But
that's what Dustin with the Y was talking about.
Multiverse.
Yeah. There's multiverse. There's all sorts of different things happening. Like, we've all done different things. There's multiple of us, almost, if you will.
That's what deja vu is.
Different worlds.
Yeah, I subscribe to that. It's legit.
It was a popular one last night.
Earth is flat. Any of those in the room?
Not going there.
Me either. You ever hear the birds aren't real theory?
Yeah, they're all
they're all
cameras
like
or something.
cameras,
yeah.
Maybe that's why some people are so worried about it.
That's why Dusty's scared of them.
What is your conspiracy?
All of it.
Oh, you believe in it all?
All of it.
Yeah, aliens,
the whole
Area
bit.
51.
The whole
I want to know
bit.
what's going on in Area 51.
You
ever watched Bob Lazar?
No.
His whole thing? I'll send you a video. It's great.
We know that there's Area 51. Like, we all know that. But why don't we know what's going on in there?
Have you ever heard a man named Art Pie?
No.
He does
Sounds like a made-up person.
No, not at all. He does a 2-hour presentation on everything you know is wrong. And it goes into Bigfoot, and it goes into the Anunnaki, and it goes the whole bit.
There is Bigfoot, or there isn't?
It's all out there.
But
all
who's
out
wrong?
There.
People that believe in Bigfoot, or
no,
people that
who don't?
Oh, okay, they're wrong.
Yeah, he lays claim to all of it. So the pyramids.
I'll say this about Bigfoot and why I don't think Bigfoot's a thing. We don't talk about Bigfoot as much anymore. There aren't those grainy photos on National Enquirer or anything anymore about Bigfoot because everyone now has
better technology,
and no one's taking photos of it. How has no one grabbed a good photo of Bigfoot?
Because there's only like 8. It's not like there's like herds of them running around.
And we
like
can't find one?
No, because they're very elusive and they're very
all
fast.
Of these cameras and all this, with
very
drones,
quick.
with everything that we have. Like, we don't even have the grainy photos anymore. There's no talk about Bigfoot anymore because it can't be a conspiracy anymore because now it's been proven that there's just no one's finding it.
Wait till they release the documents, Manny. Then you'll...
Like, at least the FBI confirmed UFOs. Or is it the FBI or is it CIA? One of them did.
Question number 3. Who is your Grey Cup 111 MVP?
Oh, boy.
You want to say Arbuckle, don't you?
No. If it's, I'm trying to think if it's the Toronto Argonauts, who I would go with, and I'm trying to think like I can't go defensively.
McManus, hey, like
I'm going to go Kadeem Carey.
Yeah,
Kadeem Carey rushes for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns.
They'll pin their ears back. They know that that's going to be the Bombers' defense should feast on that. You'd think, hey?
The heart is saying Kadeem Carey.
Yeah.
The brain says Brady Oliveira.
Yeah. I think I would agree with you there, Brady Oliveira. I could see a Zach Claros redeeming himself, too, and you mentioned his stat line from last Grey Cup, maybe having a day, or somewhat of a day, to cement the dynasty against a Nick Arbuckle. Claros v. Arbuckle, to cement the dynasty.
We've been wanting this for years.
That's the matchup you've all been waiting for.
Pacquiao Mayweather, we wanted that one forever. Got it too late.
This is your Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
That's on Friday.
Is that happening?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't. I thought that was always meaning to happen, but never actually happening.
That's happening right now. I'm going to lose a bet to Warren Barris.
And you know what? Your lip balm thing. I lost my. I've been using a chapstick. I lost it yesterday. Lips got a little dry. Guess what? Today they feel great. Like I don't think I need them again. I've been off now for 24 hours.
You detoxed.
I've detoxed my lips. They're great. Trev, any shout for a Grey Cup MVP?
I'm going to go with Kenny Lawler.
Lawler again.
Oh, that's a great choice. Actually.
He ate up Amari Henderson.
That first half, first quarter, whatever, what he was doing was just unreal.
No, Amari Henderson's.
Well, and Kenny Lawler though is a beast. I'm fascinated by this because if the Bombers go and win, or like they're hosting next year, what's the bigger story? Is it the redemption? Is it they lost 3 straight and now they're going to try to get 3 and 6? Or is it they're looking for that 4th and 6? It's the full redemption. They've blown it 3 straight years.
Lots of storylines. Han Shorkoff says, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? I have not. Same as Bigfoot. Prove to me a pigeon exists.
I have.
Oh, damn. Well, there goes that.
My grandpa, he had a pigeon shed.
Okay.
And so lots
Did
of
he breed them? Like racing pigeon? Like a...
Yeah, I think so.
One of
It
those
was a little
carrier-
bit before my time, but I saw photos. That's pretty cool.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, you go. You go.
Bigfoot is a mythical beast made of magic. Modern phones are digital. You can only capture a photo of magic with a non-digital camera. Raider Jesse says, interesting theory.
So it's magic. So you have to believe in magic.
But you need the full development of a physical photo. Yeah, that only that captures it. You can't do it on the. I just love the topics, guys. I love getting into this stuff. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Dyatlov Pass? Where all those explorers like kind of. I'll send you some reading material and videos, and it's gonna blow your mind.
I do there has to be extra life somewhere in the universe. We can't be the only ones. I just wonder why there hasn't been contact made. But then I also wonder, are they?
Maybe there has.
Well, I'm also wondering, are they so smart that they've looked at us and went, we do not want to be by those people, and they've just never reached out to us? Or are we the smartest? Are we the most intelligent of the life out there?
Because
and it's
we're
up to
bred
us.
with that life.
Are we supposed to, is it up to us
You
to
are an
find
alien.
them? I never, wow.
We are. Like you're
an alien
you don't
to
even
someone
know it.
else.
Exactly.
Somebody else on a different universe is thinking about, is there extra
and if time is a
life
circle,
out there, and where those aliens? Wow,
This came up last night
Mind
as well.
blown just now with that one.
We could be haunting somebody right now in another universe, right? Like you could be doing this, like what we're doing right now could be haunting somebody. Somebody could be here in this building in 18 something or other, or on this ground, and we're the ones haunting them. How do you feel about that? Yeah, got the brain
you
going.
blow my mind with that one, actually.
Got the brain going. It's neat. What do you like to believe in, or what do you think? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. Let's get to a sports update. Promised Orange and Blue breakfast. We'll hit that after Gager here. Joaquin Gage will be joining us next. Set up a bit Oilers and Islanders. Get his thoughts on a little F1 news, I guess, looking ahead as well. But mainly the hockey with Joaquin, Orange and Blue breakfast, and the wrap for William Huff. It's Lieutenant Eric. It's Matthew Iwanyk. It's YouTube Trev with the sports updates here on the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
In the NHL NHL last night, the Hurricanes won 5-2 over Vegas, which is the Golden Knights' first home loss of the season. The Avalanche edged Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Flames topped the Kings 3-1. Stars smacked the Penguins 7-1. Habs over the Sabres 7-5, snapping a 6-game losing streak. Flyers get past the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout. And tonight in the NHL, the Oilers open a 2-game homestand when they host the Islanders. Join Tom Gazzola here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock following the Reed Wilkins Show. Oilers are coming off a 7-3 win in Vancouver Saturday night. Other action tonight, Canucks hosting the Flames. Jets look to make it 7 in a row when they visit the Rangers. Leafs at home to play Ottawa. Bruins visit the Blues. And the Seattle Kraken welcome in the Columbus Blue Jackets. In the NFL, the Miami Dolphins improved to 3-6 with a 23-15 victory over the LA Rams. The loss drops the Rams to 4-5 on the season. Week 11 kicks off Thursday when the Commanders visit the Eagles. And to finish things off in the association, Cavaliers are now a perfect 12-0 to start the season following a 119-113 win in Chicago. Thunder remain atop of the West with a 134-128 victory over the Clippers, and the NBA in-season tournament action tips off tonight with 8 games, including the Raptors visiting the Bucks. I'm YouTube Trev. You're now up to date. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Nielson Show, Edmonton Sports Talk continues. Happy Tuesday morning to you. 7 degrees for a high later this afternoon. Looks pretty sunny through the blinds here out in this weird parking lot behind ESTHQ here. So a pretty nice day shaping up.
I'm your Huckleberry.
God, play the plane thing again. I know we got a EST Flyway to LA. That's coming up 9 to 11. Your next chance to qualify. Hit another random button here. Let's see what else you got going on.
Well, I don't know.
Just random. Don't even look.
Okay, well, tell me when to stop.
Stop. That's nice.
Nice little applause.
Maddie's mind is blown.
You suck.
Oh,
that is rude.
Won't be playing that for our next guest, I don't think, coming up here. If you're listening, iHeart TuneIn Radio app, YouTube as well. Pound that thumbs up and hit the sub button if you haven't already. Dustin Nielsen's still off. We've placed him on the LTIR retroactively this morning. It's Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk, and YouTube Trev. We're joined now by Joaquin Gage. He is brought to you by every Tuesday, Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Have Pro-Am custom frame that jersey you have in the closet or the photo you've still got in the box. Visit them in-store to get started on your project. Located here in Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue, or online at proamsports.ca. Joaquin Gage, welcome back to the program. We'll get into a little conversation we're having. Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Abominable Snowman. Do you believe in any of that stuff? Aliens, ghosts? Does any of that trick your fancy here?
No.
No?
I need solid proof, and everything's always blurry or something else. I want exact proof. I watched a weird movie on the weekend, or a series on Netflix called 3 Body Problem. It was quite good, but it's all UFO stuff. But I need to see it to believe it.
Is that when they send the kids to like the moon to fight?
No. This is it's really sci-fi. It's way out there, but it's one of those things where I got too caught up in it, and I had to finish it because I wanted to see how it ended. And then, of course, there's another season, so a lot of the questions aren't even answered yet. But it's good. I did enjoy it. But I heard you guys talking about before. Going for Trev, walking to White Ave for a beer or something, and he's got a local pub.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard the sound of what it is when you invite, like if you phone Trev and ask him to come out with you? Do you know what that sound you hear is? I have it here. If you haven't, I haven't heard it.
Did you call him?
Is that a cricket?
That's yeah. So I called Trev. Nothing. Crickets. Complete crickets. And
What?
he didn't get back to me till later, like a couple days later.
Couple of days later.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was. I'm sitting there waiting, and just absolutely nothing from Trev. Now that we're basically neighbors, essentially.
Well,
right?
Trev's going to jump in here right away, but Trev was even like, we said he could go to Bend with you and stuff, and he's just like, I would love to go with Gager.
He can't wait.
He was like, I can't wait. And the offer was there. And he said he did nothing all this time off.
Tough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it really hurts. Really hurts. That hurts. That's what hurts.
That hurts.
Trev?
Pish posh. It was the next morning, Gager, and I'm sorry. I apologized in the text. I wasn't.
See, he didn't even have the gall to call me back.
You're intimidating. You're intimidating.
Just a text back after I dialed digits and left a message. So
yeah, and you know what the message was?
Screening. He was screening my calls.
No. You said this is it.
So disheartening to have him do that to me. You know what? I was going to tell him how his father, who was a great man, who gave me a bunch of bacon to try, and what I did was I actually put it into these elk burgers that I made, and I was actually going to see if Trevor wanted to come over for a burger first, and then we'd go to the Bend for beers.
An invite to Gager's house too was going to come.
I don't think we've even gotten any of that.
I've never gotten one of those.
Known you for a long time, and it's always reply to your text.
Well, you guys aren't close, right? And I think the Bend is a little bit out of your way, and that's where I was going to introduce Trev to some local people. We go there. The owner of the bar, just to Trev's kind of a celebrity in town, just network out, help his networking a little bit, and just it was a tough weekend.
I don't know if I should go there fully. There is someone else here too that also didn't exactly get back to me as much as they should have. No,
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
whatever.
Well, he texted me today about this stuff, but on Saturday I sent you the text and I said I need this by tomorrow afternoon. There was nothing from you.
You know what? I was just crushed in the fetal position because Trev didn't call me back. I just couldn't function, Maddie.
Now I understand all this. Now I understand what happened here, Gager, and I'm gonna I forgive you. Because that would have hurt. I know that would have hurt me too. So I forgive you on that one.
Okay.
Trev even today just saying that he would love the invite.
Oh, he was gushing all over it.
Wow.
Surprising. Two different sides to a story always.
Wow. Three sides.
Gage, you're probably so engaged with the Oilers' big win over the Canucks Saturday night. Hey, what are you pulling from that puppy?
It was finally a game where I thought that, the Connor McDavid, the best players came to play in that third period when it looked like it was going to be a little bit more pushback from the Canucks. I got to say, I know I've said it a lot, but Brett Kulak, he's playing unbelievable.
You
right
love
now.
him too. You've loved him before he was playing unbelievably.
Yeah, I did, but I just think he's really, really solid right now. But what we saw was just the Oilers' big guns saying, nope, that's not going to happen tonight. And it was great to see that they kind of asserted their dominance on the Vancouver Canucks. I think that's important. But also I look at it too from a Canucks point of view where, I think the bloom is off the rose of their goaltending right now. I think they're going to find themselves in a little bit of trouble moving forward with these guys. And they're kind of just waiting until Thatcher Demko can hopefully get back for them.
I asked this of Craig Button earlier. I'll ask you as the former goalie. Skinner, a really good game, I would say, on Saturday, but very frustrated at the end of the game. What did you make of that frustration from Skinner after a 7-3 victory?
I remember that feeling, right? Things are going pretty good, late goal. You get a little perturbed. Your numbers aren't great. But you know what? I like it. He could have just let it all slide. He won, quite commanding, but he's still, like that a little bit of anger in him wanting to really shut down the Vancouver Canucks and not allow another goal. At first, I'm like, oh, what's he doing? But then I'm like, I understand it. In that moment, you do get a little bit heated, right? Late. But overall, I think it's a good sign from Stuart Skinner of not being satisfied with the win. He wanted to do even more. So I think for Oilers fans and people questioning goaltending, that's the kind of attitude you want from your number one guy.
Joaquin Gage joining us. You can catch him 1 to 3, Monday to Friday, EST afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Moving to tonight, of course, Islanders in town, 2-game homestand. We talked briefly with Button as well. You know, this is a team right now, the Oilers, sitting at 500. Not the best home record, albeit young in the season. I'm not going to use the term trap game, but one of those games where, you know, they're feeling pretty good. They scored in bunches there in the third, held off the Canucks. You see them to continue the winning ways tonight type of thing, or does this game kind of worry you more than it probably should on paper?
No, I think that... I mean, when you look at the standings, and I'm sure that they do, there's still a lot of work to do for the Edmonton Oilers to get into that top 3 of the Pacific Division. They've already lost some points to the East. These are good points to pick up, and it's a team that they should do well against. Sometimes in the past with the Oilers looking at the schedule, these are kind of those games that, you know, you kind of pencil in 2 points. But with the start of the season where they're at, to get over 500, to get closer to Calgary, Vancouver, the Golden, LA, they need the 2 points. This is the bottom line. Something they have to start rolling here, getting on a little bit of a streak. That's the most, getting everyone having that solid effort, good game in all areas. And I'm talking penalty kill, power play. I liked how the power play looked. I want to see that improve. And just that last year, they were such a dominant team at home too, right? So starting to establish that Rogers Place is a very difficult place to come in and try to gain points from the Oilers. They got to start asserting themselves on their home ice and just pulling in those, like I said, those 2 points that you get from the other division right now are really important.
Have you ever woken up on an off week and decided to just run an Ironman? Because Valtteri Bottas just did that this week at home. He did the 11 hours, 7,000 calories burned, swam in his pool, used the Peloton and an indoor treadmill for the bike and running. You ever wake up and just be like, yeah, I'm going to do an Ironman today?
Yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous, I thought. But he's, I bet you, because he's not back next year, right? They've announced that he's not back at Sauber. So, I mean, he's always on the bike with his wife. I wouldn't put it past him to see him in some sort of triathlon, Ironman type of thing later on. Doesn't look like, I don't think he's going to progress in his driving career at his age right now. He's looking for other things to do. So yeah, it's just weird to do it in your house. That was the kind of odd thing, but it just goes to show you what great athletes that F1 drivers are to do something like that.
You and Hernan will have Stefan Rosner on your show later today, I do believe. Romanov not going to be in tonight. He just tweets out as well. Just an update there on the Islanders. Did you want to ask him the Grey Cup thing, or since he's part of the staff?
Well, I was going to think...
You might as well.
Well, but he might... Because he's on all week.
I know.
So that's like,
but for the purposes of this show,
at this moment, Bombers, Argos?
Yeah, I mean, Kelly going down, and I was at my first inkling was like, oh, this is it. Winnipeg's got it. But now, and I think I sent the text out to you guys. Now Winnipeg goes through a whole week of everyone telling them how great they are and how everything is in their favor with Arbuckle coming in. I just think there could be a bit of a chip on the shoulder of this Toronto team. I'm going to lean towards Toronto, tell you the truth, guys. I just think the way Winnipeg got there, and now just, you know, we're no strangers here in Edmonton that a team, when they read their own press clippings, seem to not come out with their best effort. I have a feeling about this is going to go Toronto's way.
Love it, Gager. Thanks for your time, man. We'll see you around the studio later today and later this week.
Can't wait.
There you have it. Joaquin Gage, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned and operated fan cave. Well, they have right now, once again, you can get that custom frame. The jersey you have in your closet or the photo you've got still in the box. Visit them today, proamsports.ca or St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue. Let's get into the Orange and Blue Breakfast right now. Very quickly, Oilers and Islanders, obviously, tonight. Oilers coming off that 7-3 victory Saturday night in Vancouver. They are 7-7-1. 2-5-1 on home ice this season. Of course, Tommy Gazzola will set you up. He'll have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starting at 6 tonight on Edmonton Sports Talk. Going over the lines from what we know them last. Bo Horvat in between Anders Lee and J.G. Pajot. Brock Nelson centering a line with Slapakov and Palmieri. Casey Zizekas between Holmstrom and Engvall, and Kyle McLean between Oliver Wahlstrom and Matt Martin. Defensive pairings, as mentioned, Romanov taking a skate yesterday, but it looks like he will be out tonight. It's Mayfield and Pollock, George and Dobson, and Cholowski and Hutton. And the goaltenders, Ilya Sorokin and Semyon Varlamov. For the Edmonton Oilers, last saw them out in Vancouver. McDavid between Skinner and Hyman, Draisaitl, Podkolzin and Arvidsson, RNH, Henrique and Brown, and Derek Ryan, Janmark and Perry, Ekholm Bouchard, Nerf Stetcher, Kulak, Emberson on the back end, and Skinner and Pickard, your goalies for tonight. Keys to an Oilers victory will go around the horn, starting with you, Maddie, for tonight against the Islanders.
Just keep it going with that offense. Like, you got it going. Just don't get too cocky on yourself. Don't read your own press clippings. As Gage
like the
said about
Grey
the
Cup
Bombers.
preview, yeah.
With the Oilers, don't read your own press clippings. Like, you put up 7 against the Vancouver Canucks there. Hopefully that's opened up the floodgates for the offense going. So hopefully that keeps going. But I think it was Button said the Islanders can't score goals.
Defensive lockdown, but yeah, not much on the offense.
Just don't have those defensive breakdowns overall. But that offense should be there, and the Oilers should win then.
Trev, what do you got a key tonight to get that 2 points? Regulation 2 points is part of the EST.
Which isn't up yet, so I'll keep you posted when that's up.
Yeah, so coming off of a 7-goal game, which they won, it was nice to see them get some offense, but at times I feel like they've taken that foot off the pedal. And I don't want to see that tonight. This is a lesser team, but I feel like the Oilers, at times with lesser teams, that's exactly what they do. They're like, we don't really have to play our full 100%.
Quiet Tuesday night,
Yeah, and so it's annoying. So start strong, start early, get the offense going early, and it looks like, hopefully, Craig had mentioned it earlier. They had so many chances, and the puck's finally going in the net for them. So hopefully they can keep that offense going for tonight's game. But once it's going, just don't stop. Keep going. I don't want to see them take the foot off the pedal like they did with Vegas.
There you have it. Keys to an Oilers win today. Your injury report right now, and it is brought to you by Podium Physiotherapy. Knee pain from that nagging ACL, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after long days at work, we've got you covered. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, our expert team is here to get you back on track. That's Podium Physiotherapy, NHL caliber treatment for the everyday individual. Book now at podiumphysiotherapy.com. We did mention Romanov. It is a bit of a walking wounded for the Islanders tonight. Alexander Romanov day-to-day, Adam Pelech on the IR, Barzell and Riley both day-to-day, and Duclair, Lennox, and Kefler on the IR. So missing a bit of firepower, as Button mentioned, Barzell and Romanov on that back end. For the Edmonton Oilers, pretty elementary, though. It's just Evander Kane. He is on the joining Dusty. Dusty joining him now on the LTIR. And Carl Berglund. Brady Stonehouse still on here. They'll need to update that a bit, but pretty clean bill of health for your Edmonton Oilers heading into tonight. This is the Orange and Blue Breakfast, and once again, we thank Podium Physiotherapy for the injury update as well.
October 28th, Dusty placed retroactively on the LTIR to October 28th.
Let's make sure we get the dates correct.
Exactly. We got to get the math in. We got to get the dates in, so we could recall them at some point.
Yeah.
But we need to get that cap relief.
You need to get that cap relief, indeed. Somebody suggested maybe some raises all around. I think for everybody pitching in during this time of need. Let's not table that to HR Daddy in the next meeting, right? Get him on the Zoom. We thank Podium Physiotherapy for the injury report. That was your Orange and Blue Breakfast. Let's get into the wrap. For William Huff, if you want your place to look as good as ours, visit the team at William Huff today. In business since 52. So you know they're incredible at what they do. I think the Argos won their, 8th Grey Cup? I'm just going back. Somebody mentioning it, the fact that they haven't lost a Grey Cup since 1987 is a wild stat as well. But William Huff, 1952. Visit them today, William Huff Look, what did we learn today? I learned that you're grossly out of shape. Trev admitted that he's out of shape. I think we're all out of shape. And we also learned that Dusty's been placed on the long-term injury reserve.
Well, there's two things I've learned.
Sure.
I also learned that calling Trev to go for drinks.
Can't count on that.
I can't count on that.
Can't count on that.
And then getting a text
I was washing
after.
dishes.
All night? Like, what time did he call you? What time did he call you?
I don't know.
Look at your phone.
Mid-afternoon. It was like 2 o'clock. My phone was in my room. And then all of a sudden I see I got a missed call from Gage. And I was like, oh, snap. And I'm not going to lie. I am bad at getting back to people. Confessions. Okay. I'm not going to lie. That is something I've been told many times. And I am going to continue to be a better person every single day. And I felt bad. I sent Gager a nice response. But his voicemail, it just kind of like intimidated me. If I'm being honest, he said his story, but he was like, "You missed my phone call. This is the last phone call you ever get from me." And I was like, it hurt. Okay, I was scared.
He's joking.
I don't know.
Look at the guy. Listen to him.
He's intimidating.
like this little teddy bear.
No, maybe to you guys, but to me, oh no.
He invited you out for drinks.
I know, and I felt bad.
How could you say you were washing dishes?
I was washing dishes.
Yeah, but that's how you missed it. And then it's like you couldn't get back to him until the next morning.
Yes. And I meant to that night, and then I didn't. So I feel bad. Gager, please invite me again. You won't regret it.
No, you don't need it needs to happen.
I'll invite him.
Yes.
Into my place. Yeah.
Or to just the Bend.
Oh, yeah.
Or to like a bar or something. But I think you need to give it back to him. Hudson's.
I can do that.
Just walk down
But
there.
like, I feel like now
All
I
there.
just, I know that I won't get a response if I call.
He absolutely will give you a response.
Really?
And if he doesn't, you got to call him out.
Okay.
I also learned one other thing. This is from over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I was dealing with Nathan with our
Yeah.
streaming service?
Nathan,
So I want to get the update
Brit.
with it. Yes, Nathan,
Yeah.
who I was having issues with. So he said he'd personally keep me updated.
Yes.
Right? He's gonna personally
On your
keep
Blue
updated.
Sky account. Eh?
So that happened on November 5th.
Okay.
November 9th, I reached out. So a couple days ago, I reached out. I said, hey, been a few days. Haven't heard anything. Any progress on this?
He's ghosting you like somebody.
I get a response from some Calum.
Who?
Calum.
Calum?
Yes. Not even Nate. Calum gets to me. And I always love they say hello, Dustin, because it's under his account. So hello, Dustin. Hope this message finds you well. And thanks for reaching back out. Like, what are we doing here? But he says it's been marked as fixed by our team. So they apparently fixed it and then chose not to tell me, even though Nathan said he'd personally tell me.
Marking it fixed.
But then since they've applied some tweaks and changes to your settings, and I'm like, okay, well, you can't just tell me that your team did something. Like, I don't know what you could say that for whatever.
After saying he'd keep you personally up to date.
Nathan was going to personally keep me up to date.
Personal touch.
And then you're just telling me, oh, yeah, they did some things.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
So then I reached out again and went like, hey, no, like, well, what changes did you make? Like, can you explain to me what you have found?
No.
So I could get some sort of like relief going, no, you guys actually did find something.
Well, hold them to it, you know.
And then I could hold them. Nathan got back to me. Nathan came back.
Okay, you just read the message.
Well, and he tells me that, again, thanks for reaching out. They always give me that thanks for reaching out.
Yeah.
Our development team made some technical adjustments to the streaming pool that your station is based on in order to improve its stability. You should notice a smoother experience now. Are you still seeing the message not available in your country on your app? If so, please let me know and I'll do my best to help.
That's all technical jargon. It basically said we did some things. Is it working?
Adjusted the streaming pool. So if there are any, apparently our streaming pool has been adjusted and it should make things easier. But if you get anything else, if you get any of those errors still, please let us know. So then I could go talk to Nathan or Calum or whoever else I have to deal with to make sure that they know that maybe it didn't work and their team didn't fix anything. Or maybe their team did fix something. But Calum comes to me. No one gets to me for a few days.
No, until you.
And then I engage. Yeah. And then Calum's the one to get back to me, even though I was supposed to be personally kept in tune from
No
Nathan.
personal touch from the old mate dog, hey? Again, it's Britain. He's probably a fan of Coventry City and he hates Man United or something like that. Or I don't know.
Maybe I'll start asking him about those questions.
You should.
Learn a little bit more.
Well, and really kind of see if, again, we thought it was maybe a bit of an AI thing going on here. Because, again, all the messages are kind of uniform with the hope this finds you well, blah, blah, blah. And
every time,
it's not too personal.
Everything
You're lacking
say,
a personal touch.
There's always something like that. Like, we just want answers now. We just want things fixed. But personally, I was supposed to be personally informed and I wasn't. And I was passed off to Calum. That's what I learned this weekend. Text
of the day, it's 4 A&W. And as we told you earlier, A&W now serving. You're loving this. You also learned this today, Maddie. Pret, 100% organic coffee. To celebrate them serving this, you can get a $1 small coffee or a $2 small latte until November 24. So you got 12 more days for this one. Sustainably farmed beans. They're raising the coffee bar across Canada, A&W is. Once again, $1 small coffee, $2 small latte. That's all you need. You don't need liters and liters of... I know waking up in an ungodly hour, sometimes you need but just a nice small cup of coffee. Good for your health. Or a $2 small latte from your nearest A&W today. $20 to A&W for text today. You are in the inbox. Hey, you've been perusing around the Paris Jewelers inbox. Did anything grab your eye? I just want to make sure it's not this one, that we're not kind of...
Nothing jumped in for me.
Because I'm going with this from Gus. It was almost pillar to post, 617. It's simple, it's short, it's sweet. The Nielson Show, more like the not Nielson Show. Thanks, Gus. He said, thank you. It wasn't too much of a thinker. It was almost like the Philippe Philop text that we got last week as well. Kind of funny, not really, but he said thanks, and we appreciate Gus for that. Gus, you're off to A&W. You're getting one of those. You're either getting 20 small coffees or 10 small lattes.
We got to add GST into that.
Yeah, but you pay
like
a little bit. You can
pay the GST,
extra.
I might actually have to stop for that. Like, actually, you're like,
that's all you need.
Black coffee is good for you.
A little small black coffee. That's all you need. You don't need a big.
But even with the latte, like just getting a nice small ones.
Get your shot in there.
Perfect. Yeah. You don't need more than that. Otherwise, then you get coffee breath and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not good for your whole. You're staying up and you get the crash and everything. So, Gus, you're off to A&W. Congratulations. Get your coffee there. That's A&W text of the day, courtesy the Paris Jewelers inbox.
They also have the mushroom mozzarella back. It says it's back, but not for long. Mushroom mozzarella right on their website. Just throwing that out.
Not for long.
Not for long.
I think the Whistle Dog. I still see Whistle Dog signs too, so you can get a few of those if you want.
Probably by location.
And almost forgot, it is game day. You know what that means?
No.
$5, $5.25 plus tax. Mama Burger medium fries. Hell of a deal. Outstanding deal. Great value there. So A&W, visit them on game days as well. $5, $5.25 for the Mama Burger and regular fries. If you want to add cheese on that, it's a little extra too, but that's okay too. Yeah, get the slice of cheese. Really dress up the burger. No pickles. Leave the onions in. Away you go.
No onions. Leave the pickles in for me.
Yeah, so we'd reverse. Yeah, that's good. That's like Will and I with the chicken. It's perfect. Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Check them out today as well. What are we watching tonight, boys? What do we got here? I know it's Oilers and Islanders. Maybe you can kind of just we are all watching that. What else would you have on tonight?
Let me pull up the time for this.
NBA Cup? You're going NBA Cup.
I am not. My Lakers are not playing. The defense doesn't start until that gets going.
Defense?
The defense of the title.
Well, the inaugural NBA Cup, though. You've got the in-season tournament. Now
still
it's the NBA Cup brought to you by the Emirates.
Coming up later. It's on TSN Plus. Damn it.
You're looking at that Maction, aren't you?
Well, not the Maction. I don't know. I don't know TSN's website if it's Eastern time or whatever it is. The playoff rankings, they come out. The updated rankings for the college football playoffs. I want to see where my Hurricanes drop down to. Are they still going to be holding a playoff spot? And I want to see if my Cougs have bumped up in a little bit there. So I'm going to have to find some sort of illegal stream of the college football playoff rankings.
Sick dog.
So I could go watch that one. I want to watch the rankings.
Dust out the old Fire Stick, eh?
If you have TSN Plus, you could also watch some Maction. They got Western Michigan, Bowling Green, and Central Michigan and Toledo. They also have some college basketball going on TSN Plus. You have 5 channels. Put one of the channels with some college.
The college football playoff thing is fascinating too. As the SEC logjam does continue there as well, with teams kind of all with winning records.
Well, how much does Georgia fall in all of this?
Yeah, no.
Where does Georgia fall in this? Because it's not like they lost to Bama. It's not like they lost to a big team this week. Ole Miss is a good team. They were 19th or something when they lost, but still, it wasn't like when Ohio State lost to Oregon type thing. So I'm fascinated to see it. Yeah, with the SEC, how does that all play out?
Also around the NHL tonight, blacked out on TSN 3 will be the Rangers at home to the Jets. Blacked out on 4 and 5 will be the Leafs at home to the Senators. You also got Vancouver entertaining the Flames in an all-Canadian Pacific affair, and the Kraken at home to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Trev, anything else? It's all full. You'll be playing tonight, right? Once again, the details of your floor hockey game tonight.
Live stream this on like Insta.
Twitch it.
That'd be funny. Can you imagine just live streaming? Yeah, maybe I might do that. Nah, probably not. I don't know if anyone would watch that. But
what time's the game?
7:30. 7:30.
How many goals? How many assists are we projecting for you?
It depends on the team I play. I'd like to get at least 3 goals. I like to go for the Hattie. That's like the bar. And maybe a few apples. But I like just shoot first mentality kind of guy. You know, right off the draw. boom. That happened a few times last game. It was pretty easy. But I'll be watching. Well, no, my teammates will be watching me light up the other team, hopefully, and I will not be watching them because I won't be on the bench tonight. But then as soon as I get home, it's all Oilers, baby. Let's go.
Oilers Islanders GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows tonight. Coverage getting underway at 6 o'clock with Tom Gazzola. Immediately following the Reed Wilkins show with Jason Milne. That goes from 3 to 6. Parting words for the show today.
Well,
You're in the hangout coming up next. Yeah, play something. I mean, you got...
This is our sound of the day.
God, I love
That's
that.
a good one.
You can hear that every day. Reed Wilkins show. They do that for the EST flyaway.
I love it.
Well, I could also I still have a few more.
Just play something. Hit a
What
button.
else? Well,
why not?
no,
I like the...
Which one haven't I? I
surprise.
think
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Tombstone Tuesday.
boom.
Why
There
not?
you go.
Yeah.
Parting words.
Well, your next hangout.
EST hangout. Myself, Don Ellis, Dean Belanger coming in hot as he texts me. Coming in hot. LOL. Can you grab me a water? On the air right now.
Wow.
Dean, but I will get you that water.
Once again, your next chance at the EST Flyweight Daily keyword that's coming up 9 to 11 and throughout the day here on EST. Want to thank Craig Button of TSN, Joaquin Gage as well, EST Afternoons alongside Hernan Salas, 1 to 3 here on the station, and all of our sponsors today. The Nielsen Show was and is presented by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Check them out online at www.southportchev.com. Dustin Nielsen banged up on the LTIR. Lieutenant Eric, Matt Iwanyk, and YouTube Trev producing. It'll be Wolf Fraser in the next few days alongside myself and YouTube Trev. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the hangout. We love you.